What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast, the Monday Night Wave. We are now locked and loaded inside episode 14. We're now 14 episodes in, man. This is a great trend. We're making great progress.
Riding along with The Rock. I appreciate it.
Thank you for filling the mana and just listening. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today. I'm your host with the most, Jay. No Uso, no Yeet. And, we're going to pass it off to the one and only Mr. Heroic. Go ahead and take it from here.
It's the wild card. It's the king of gorgeous. It's Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. It is Hero. And before I even go into my bit, can we just talk about, we got some things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We got the WWE draft. We got dynasty results. We got maybe even a Tony Khan comment at the NFL Combine. We have so much to talk about. As a matter of fact, we even have a couple special guests. We have, and I didn't tell Loner about this, we have Loner A. Smith. He's here today. We're going to hear some comments from him. He's going to be great. We have Heroic Sharp. He's here. He can't wait to say Skip. And then we got the Bastard Rasta. The hating Jamaican, we got Venti Money Roro, and he's actually gonna bring us in for a bit, and he's gonna do my bit for me. So let me bring him in real quick. Yo, you here? Yeah, man. They here. It's Venti Money Roro, man. Big money, big things, yeah. We here, man. Boom, boom, boom. Talking about ya, man. And he told me to bring you in, so Lona Kingston. I got a question for you, man.
What you got, man?
What do you want to part about? Yeah, big money. Thank you, Vinty. We'll have him in the drafts later. He'll do the drafts.
Oh man, that is fucking amazing. That's great. I love that. Yeah, so we'll get into it. We don't got a lot of news this week, but there are some interesting stories that we can talk about. I did want to talk about there's a semi-tie-in because earlier this week I had sent in the group chat that the FTC was talking about they're not going to do non-competes, right?
Yes.
They're like, oh, there's not going to do non-competes anymore. Like that, they're going to get away with those or do away with those in America.
The Biden administration, they signed. I don't know when that comes into effect though, but yeah.
However, what I found out, because I brought in the group chat, because I was like, oh, this is going to make WWE releases really interesting, right? Because non-competes is kind of what they do. I found out that's not what they do. What WWE does is call you in advance to let you know that you're going to be fired. So they'll call, hypothetically, somebody and be like, hey, you're getting released. Not today, but 3 months from now. That way you're still on the book. So technically there really isn't a non-compete because you're still employed by WWE while you're getting paid. It would be different if they fired them the day of and then told them you can't work for 90 days. It's weird, but that's their loophole around non-competes, and the fact that they don't do non-competes is that you get fired ahead of time. We just let you know today that you're gonna be fired in April or fucking July or some shit like that. I found that very interesting.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, it's cool that people still get paid. The argument could go both ways, where it's like, oh, so for Cameron Grimes and Jinder, they wouldn't be able to be booked until I want to say July 22nd. I think that's 90 days ish from now.
Yeah.
So you can argue oh well, they're not working, blah blah blah, but they're also still getting paid. So that's the counter argument. And also with the FTC and the compete clauses, that doesn't that's all sports too, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's NFL, it's MLB, it's anything sports related. So it's not just the wrestling business that's going to change, but that's all sports.
It's more world business too, because it's kind of we're looking at it from the wrestling sports angle and sports world and shit like that. But it's there's construction jobs where well, you can't go work for the rival. Now you got away with that, so now people are going to be able to work more. Not going too far on the tangent, but yes, it is very interesting to see non-competes kind of be done away with.
Oh yeah, you can drop that green apron and go to Dutch Bros immediately, baby.
Immediately. What? You don't like Dutch Bros? Throw them in Black Rock immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as other news stories, we do have there was a Dominic Mysterio injury. So Dom injured what believes to be like you said, like his elbow or shoulder.
Yeah. So he showed up in Raw in his sling, which we had no news of or anything during it. And I mean, when we talk about Raw, we'll even talk about it because yeah, he had to get replaced in a match. And then after Raw, there was Meltzer or someone reported that he's going to have to get a Tommy John surgery, which, if you're not familiar, that's usually a surgery baseball players get. I think particularly pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super sure. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but after that news came out that he was possibly going to get the surgery, he tweeted, "There's no surgery for this guy. Let's fucking go. I'm here to stay." So Dominic is here. He'll probably still be in a sling, but he's going to be an on-screen character, which, based off of what we saw on Raw for a snippet, that will hopefully play into some other stuff, which we'll get into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yep.
it seems like he's going to at least still be on screen, which yeah, that's a good thing because that's a good thing because they're already lost Rhea. So
Right.
the fact that he's able to still be around, they can still build off the storylines with the possible ending of Judgment Day. Maybe something with Liv. We'll get into it, but the stories can keep going, which is good.
I like that. Yeah. What else we got in here?
If we're as far as the other injuries go, apparently Jimmy Uso has an injury, and there's no timetable or foreseeable future of when he will return. But they also didn't list the injury, and
True.
I'm like my mantra is it's always a work until it's not a work. That doesn't mean just say everything is fake, but until we get more information, I'm going to keep this. I'd say take this with a grain of salt. It could be a work. But they
Especially
also
with the way he got written off, or not written off, but like the last time we seen him was him getting
yeah.
like destroyed.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when we see people get destroyed like that, it is because they do have a legit injury and they need to be off of TV for a while. So, I don't know. I just say let's just take it day to day until we get like why or what it is. I would just say let's just take it. We might see him at France. We'll see. We'll know. He might be in France.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And
then
I think that
two other things. We have another pregnancy announcement. Valhalla, who we haven't seen, I want to say like 2-3 weeks, announced that her and Eric, the Viking, are expecting their second child, which would explain why we haven't seen her in a couple weeks. So shout out to them. Well, let me shout out to the baby. She's racist. I don't know about him, but shout out to the baby. The baby has no. Yeah.
No qualms in this world. The baby got no.
I ain't got no beef with that baby yet. But no, seriously, shout out to them. Hopefully everything goes well with that. And the last thing I have, which is pretty cool, it's that the NFL draft and the WWE draft, which both took place this week, they were pretty neck and neck in viewership, which is
wrestling's
pretty cool.
up. Yeah, it's a very good time to be a wrestling fan. Like it's at a great peak right now. It's insane, yo.
Yeah, NFL did 682K, and for I don't know which night they chose. It might have been night one for them because the NFL draft is like 4 days long or whatever. Right. But WWE did 679K apparently, and I don't. Actually, I need that to be broken down some more because Smackdown usually does like 2 million viewers a week. So I wonder what they mean by that. But apparently the draft part is at least neck and neck. So I mean that's I don't know, either way that's a cool.
It's a cool stat. Once you figure out the metrics, either way, it's the fact that it's being compared with the NFL draft. Like we're talking, my bad, y'all, but we're talking like scripted bookings and matches and shit being neck and neck with like real life, like sports and shit like that. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, and another aspect that makes it cool is obviously the NFL and WWE kind of have a deal with their titles. They're having the NFL titles and stuff, and then also Tony Khan being part of the Jaguars. It's just all connected. Like everything is connected, and everything is becoming wrestling. Like everything is wrestling, you guys. Like dead ass. Like everything is wrestling.
There were some lines that were like definitely blurred a little bit. Like I think on the Pat McAfee show, like they were talking about Tony and the neck brace, and he was talking about him taking a Meltzer driver. Like the lines are there, bro. Like they're all connected.
Yeah, and everyone's having fun with. I mean, like WWE's had multiple ESPN stuff. You know,
Yep.
Chris Jericho was on TNT. 2 years ago, whatever, doing shit with Barkley and Shaq.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Um,
sports integration, baby. We're here.
I think, yeah, yeah, man. It's wrestling's up. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. I'll just say that.
All right. Monday Night Raw. We get the show. The show starts. It opens up with Pat and Cole. They're in the ring and they're hyping up the main event, which the main event is the women's battle royale to determine the new
Yep, yep, yep,
women's
yep.
heavyweight champion due to Rhea having to relinquish the week prior. During that, Jay comes out. He cuts a promo. I don't remember. I didn't write any key points. He cuts a promo.
Nah.
Yeet down. Yeet it up. I'm yeeting all over myself. Then Priest comes out, which he does cut a decent promo.
He
To start,
does.
he cuts a decent promo, but it starts off kind of odd though to me because he's talking about like the past. Like it starts off. It sounds babyface ish to the in the beginning because it sounds like he's like talking about the past. He's like, man, like what do you say? Like we used to ride together or some shit, or I don't know. He like it seemed like, oh yeah, man, we was cool, blah blah blah. But then he's like, look, at the end of the day, though, none of that shit matters. I'm gonna beat you. You're just another cog in the machine. You're just someone that the machine is going to feed to me to make this title more prestigious,
Look,
essentially.
bro, that was a bar because it was a bar because it broke like the third wall in a sense to where it's like we all know like the first time your title defense, the champion's usually going to win.
Yeah,
But like to break the wall and be like, oh, you're just the first on the list of people that the machine is going to feed me to make sure this looks good is fucking crazy because everybody calls WWE the machine. But just to break that wall and like say like you're just a pawn in this, bro. Like I gotta start my reign. Like that's
yeah,
fucking crazy. I love that line.
yeah. And, I liked it too. And you definitely meant fourth wall. I don't want you to
Fourth
get.
wall, my
I
bad.
don't
Fourth
want you to
wall.
get mean tweets. You know. Well, actually, the third wall will be the wall
The
that's
third,
behind you in your chair, and you could just walk through
my
the
bad.
house.
Fourth wall.
um, and then Jay was like, "That's all you see me as, Us? Another tag team, man. Blah, 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 blah. You on the leader because Rhea got hurt. Yeet. Tell her I said,
Mm-hmm.
ah.
He did say that. He did.
That shit was funny. Which that actually made Damien break a little bit. He was starting to laugh. But yeah, yeah.
He
So they
calls
go.
him Dom's bitch.
Yeah, he calls him Dom's bitch too, since Rhea's gone. Then JD Big Head tries to do a sneak attack, but Jay catches it, which sets up Jay super kicking Priest, which Priest did not like, and then Priest escapes.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we get another King and a Queen video package, which was cool. And it's giving they're essentially announcing more importance to it, which we see throughout the entire show because there's going to be certain characters that declare that they're going to be in that, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll get into that thing. After that, we get DIY, or we get our first match of the show, which is DIY versus the Awesome Truth for the tag team titles. And the match starts off with the True versus Gargano. I know it seemed cool. We get a cool, nice slingshot spear spot that was dope. I love his slingshot spear move. It doesn't look good on everybody, but when it looks good, it looks really fucking good. Um,
I didn't. This one I didn't really have anything in particular. I just caught like at the end where like I don't know if we want to wrap it up or not, but like at the end where like because DIY
okay.
loses.
Yeah, DIY
But
loses.
go ahead.
So I did have a couple spots. There was an awesome camera shot sequence when Miz was working. I don't remember what the camera shot was, but when Miz got a hot tag, there was a really cool sequence. I don't know, it just looked really
I
cool.
think they also shot this in 8K. Like their intros were in 8K too when they got in the ring. They were doing
Yeah,
some weird like with the title, like when they're with their name bars or nameplates in this. It was very interesting.
it
I think they're
did.
testing shit out again.
They keep testing shit out. And then last week during the Bianca and Naomi match, they had the 8K. So maybe they're just saving 8K for a title match. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah,
Maybe.
there was definitely an 8K moment because yeah, there was a cool super kick pedigree combo that was a really close 2 count. That shit looked fire. We get a meet in the middle, but Miz saves the. We get a meet in the middle, so they do their they're both running move to where the dude's in the middle. It's called meet in the middle, It's essentially like an EVP trigger without holding the hands. They just both run
Right.
from corner to corner and hit the person. Miz does a cool save, and we get an Awesome Truth. Awesome Truth retains with what they were calling the truthful because Miz's move is called the final
The skull crushing finale.
skull crushing. I think it was called the truthful skull finale or something. It's something, the awesome truthful skull finale or some shit like that. But essentially, yeah, he does the skull crushing finale, and R-Truth does his the fuck
Face
is it called?
breaker.
Yeah, it's like it's like a
face
flatliner
plant.
or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, they retain. And as you were saying after the match, someone
Ciampa didn't like it. Ciampa not shaking hands. He fed up with this shit, which isn't true Ciampa nature because Ciampa's a way better heel than he is a face.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we got some shits on the rocks here. We don't know what the hell is going on with DIY.
Yeah, and I wonder because obviously Candice is going heel. Johnny and Candice are married. Indy's been part of the way for a while. Tommaso was never part of the way, but it seems like he didn't want to shake hands. He was really upset. And then there's a background WWE.com video or whatever when they're talking in the back, and he seemed more upset also. But maybe all of the way is going to go heel. We'll see. Maybe Johnny
Johnny as a heel would be interesting. I never seen Johnny as a heel.
The way when they formed the way, they were a heel, but it was like a goofy heel, but they still got shit done. So there's like
Gotcha.
they were funny, like Johnny and Candice and Indy and Silent Dude. Can't remember his Dexter Lumis. Like they were. Well, I know when Dexter Lumis joined, that's when they became face again. But in Austin Theory, but yeah, they were heels, but they were like goofy heels, but they weren't goofy heels to where they were jobbers. Like they actually got shit done, but they were like funny.
Gotcha.
So it's a possibility. I don't know. It's something to it's something to keep your eye on because if Candice is going heel, Indy is semi heel now based off the match from last week. Doesn't seem like it's fully committed yet. And then with the way Ciampa is, and we all know Ciampa for the most part, we could get all of them heel, or maybe Indy and Johnny are the only ones that aren't full. Like I'm not ready to go for the kill yet, type of thing. We'll see.
Right. Maybe we get the way. I mean.
Yeah. It'll be a new version on the way because Theory's not Theory's doing his own thing. But it's interesting. It's something to keep our eye on. So after that match, we get a backstage thing. Priest is yelling at JD McBobblehead. And he's like, dude, why do you keep doing shit without talking? Dom shows up, and this is when he shows up in his sling, which we talked about early in the show. So, and at this
Priest
point,
like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
And at this point, as the audience, we have no idea what's going on, and nothing's been reported on Twitter, nothing like that. Yeah, Dom shows up in his sling, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and also Finn Balor's not on the show, which explains why Dom has Santos fill his spot for this match.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because it was really random, and then also they never mentioned where Finn was or anything, whether it was the announcers or Judgment Day. No one said where Finn was. It's just obviously Finn was not on television. And something that we could have put on the news docket over the weekend. Finn signed a multi-year deal. Yeah, he re-signed. So
big bag.
Yeah,
get it, Finn. Much deserved. Finn's he's fucking amazing.
Much deserved. One of my favorites of all time. One of my current favorites, just in general, and also I didn't know his contract was even close to up. All we've been hearing about was Drew, Seth, and Becky's contracts coming up. I didn't even know Finn's contract was coming up. So the fact that he resigned, he's like, I ain't going nowhere. Like it was random as fuck, but it was also super cool. But it was random as shit.
Finn is he's in the vein of like Kevin Owens, where like he's just this switch army knife where you can put him in wherever and he's gonna fucking thrive. Tag team, singles, main event, mid card,
heel, face.
It's like you can't let people like that go. It's in the same vein as like Miz, to where Miz can be everywhere. Like Bobby, these are great fucking superstars, but Finn's definitely at the top. He's like top of the top, talent.
I'd take Bobby's name out. That nigga can't speak.
What? That's crazy. You're right. Fuck, I don't know, bro. Bobby was WWE champion
because of whom?
And
MVP. You saw how his swagger dropped when him and MVP left. 2 weeks ago, he's wearing that Tom and Jerry zoot suit. Like, what?
Okay. Bobby's he's lower on the list, but he's definitely one of those workers that you can put anywhere.
Yeah, you can
Bobby
put him
can fight you
anywhere.
for the
He can
United
work.
States or the WWE
He
Championship.
just ain't got the
Easy
charisma
good.
for it. He needs a man.
There you go. Well, I will agree with you there. His charisma factor is low.
I was gonna say Prince. Priest emphasizes handle your business, and
Yeah,
during that, because Dom was saying like I can't do the tag match. Sancho's gonna take my thing, my spot. And he's like, handle Ricochet, handle Andrade. And they say something, and he's like, nah, handle your business, which there
yep.
is a play on that later. But yeah, he emphasizes handling your business. So we're getting some more seeds and lines of where whether he leaves on his own volition or if he gets jumped out or whatever.
I think
I
he
don't
getting
know.
jumped out. They about to fuck him up.
Priest is leaving Judgment Day soon.
It's happening. That or like I don't know. Like the way that everything's happening right now, it feels like it's like a disbandment. Like they're all just like doing their own thing. Like Dom's fucking with LWO and Legato and shit like that. Rhea's already out. Priest is champion. You don't really want to be in. And then JD, I don't know if it was like this show or maybe something that was online to where he's like, I'm tired of being like, just in this loop of getting fucked up or something like that sense of where
Yeah,
he feels like his value is
yeah,
not being held.
yeah, it was a tweet.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like we don't know.
yeah,
Is Judgment Day breaking up?
I think so,
I have some
man.
thoughts too when we get to like, or I don't know if it happens here.
All right.
Does no? Yeah, keep talking.
All right. So yeah, we'll go. So after that, Gunther comes out. He says he pretty much says I'm the greatest of all time in his IC division. The weight of being
Mm-hmm.
the champion, the weight of being the hunted is over. Now I get to be the hunter. Essentially he thanks Sami Zayn. He does take responsibility for losing. But he also at the same time he's like, man, I thank you. Like I've done all I could in this division technically. It was bound to happen at some point, I suppose. But now it's similar to what Cody said a couple the other week either. Also he's like, but it's vice versa. So it's like, look, for the longest time, for 660 days, I was being hunted. Now I am the hunter. I get to do whatever the fuck I want, and
Yep.
you gotta watch out for me, essentially. And that
Yep.
sets. And then he declares himself for King of the Ring, and then while he's declaring himself for King of the Ring, which I don't know if this is a new attribute to the or a new stipulation with the thing, or I want to say there was something because I saw a tweet saying in the old days King of the Ring meant like you can get a championship match. I don't know. I just remember ever since I was watching, I don't necessarily remember that happening. But
Wait. You can get a what? Say that
it
again.
sounded like it based off a tweet I saw. It sounded like the old King of the Ring rules, and I need to fact check, so I don't know. And so this is just me reading someone's tweet. But it seemed like in the old days, King of the Ring meant like you had a championship opportunity or something like that, similar to like a Royal Rumble or something. But I'm not fully sure. But based off of what Gunther said tonight, or I mean on Raw, that is what it's giving because he says after I win King of the Ring, I'm going to challenge any champion I want, or something. He says something on those lines. So I think that might be the new reward. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But based off of what Gunther said, when he wins the shit, he's going after Cody or Dame Damian. Seems like.
So from what it seems like traditionally the winner of King of the Ring does get a shot at the championship title at SummerSlam. This became a thing in 2002. But the thing is, King of the Ring hasn't been around for that long, but back then it was a thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was a thing for until like 4 years like later, and then it just stopped. So yes, the King of the Ring winner usually gets a shot at something in SummerSlam.
Does it say when it stopped? Like, did it stop in the early 2000s? Because I remember, because Kurt Angle won King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Word. Well, so yeah, SummerSlam is in August. I mean, okay. So let's say they keep that, but they change it to where it's not SummerSlam. It could be any time. We've talked about it multiple times. There's the battle in Belfast, or there's that Germany pay-per-view in September or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, again, we hypothesize like Gunther's going to be doing something in that Germany show, so maybe he gets a championship match.
This is only 4
Assuming
teams
he,
went on the challenge for the championship at SummerSlam. Owen Hart, Mabel, Kurt Angle, and Brock Lesnar are the only ones that have went after a title.
okay, so then that stopped early because Brock Lesnar won King of the Ring. Like I want to say his first year being in the company,
Right.
but ever since then, we had like Booker T, we had Xavier. Yeah, it's been on and off. Yeah, it's been
I
on and
like
off.
it. If we bring it back King of the Ring, let's make it something. Let's make it to where there's stakes involved,
Yeah, other than just changing a character and acting like a king.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's put some shit on it. Yeah. I like it.
A championship match makes sense. Whether it's in like even if they wanted
at SummerSlam, that's summertime mania. Let's pop it off, yo.
Yeah, that is like the revert, like it's similar to the Royal Rumble with Mania. Yeah, I like that. Bring that shit back.
Let's rock. I like it because like now there's based on who enters, there's some stakes with these individuals.
Yeah, and like based off of who we know has entered this far,
it's high stakes with these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like these are some solid dogs.
After bankers after bankers.
Like, let's cook this shit up. Yeah, I like it. Let's rock with that. Hopefully that's the case. We won't know until like officially, but yeah, I want them to run it like that.
Even if they tweak it, it doesn't have to be something. Even if they tweak it, if it's just a championship match, like it doesn't have to be like Money in the Bank anytime you want. Maybe like there's like okay, you can get a championship match. You have to claim it in 2 months or something. I don't know. Like it doesn't have to be separate. As long as I want some stakes other than just wearing a crown and changing your accent and being a king asshole or whatever. I'm fine.
Ooh, no, fuck. I love our tangents. I hate our tangents, but I love our tangents because like let's say hypothetically let's say it is at SummerSlam. Let's say they lock it in. You got to not cash it in, but you get to face the champion at SummerSlam. You didn't have Money in the Bank in July, I believe. And typically what they would normally do is that somebody from Money in the Bank would challenge for the opposite title. Fine. That's simple. I like chaos. I like, Gunther's inside this match. He's going against Cody. Well, fuck. I want to go against Cody. So I'm going to win Money in the Bank and we're going to make a triple threat. I love changing shit up. I love cogs in the wheel. Although that probably would never happen. But yeah, let's do it at SummerSlam. Like, it makes it simple for the booking aspect. That way, like, let's say, I don't know who's a good superstar. LA Knight wins Money in the Bank, and he can hold on to it till the end of the year, or he can fucking cash in after fucking Gunther and Cody. I don't fucking know, but I like the idea of having that ability open and locking it in at SummerSlam.
The way if I had it, if I had the pin, the way I would do it, just to like make it slightly different and unique, but also at the same time, because there's in NXT they have like the NXT Breakout Tournament, and it's essentially you win that and you can have it. It's essentially a Money in the Bank, but it's not a briefcase. It's just like a big, I don't know, folder or book or some shit. The way I would do it, King of the Ring. The way Money in the Bank is for the main title usually, except for the Austin Theory shit. How it's usually for the main card title, I'd make King and Queen of the Ring. Well, not Queen, but I'd make King of the Ring for like the mid card. You get a guaranteed shot for the mid card. You can cash it in anytime you want. That way there's a difference so that you don't like, because if it's for the main title, then you essentially, that means you have 2 Money in the Banks, but it's just named differently. So to differentiate it, I would be like, King of the Ring, you get a chance at Intercontinental or US anytime you want. Similar to the way Money in the Bank is for any main card. That's how I would do it.
I'm 50-50 because I like the idea of having something for stakes for the mid card. That means you can elevate lower to mid-level talent and we can get people spotlighted. Yeah. I like that. On the opposite end is that Money in the Bank can be cashed in at any given time. Somebody could win in July, and we just seen you can fucking wait until fucking April to like cash in. Although I don't like that shit, but it's a possibility to where if King of the Ring is for a title at SummerSlam, that's great. I'm okay with that too. But I do like your idea of elevating the mid card. This is for a shot at the IC or the United States. But then again, this would also defeat the purpose of like Gunther and Drew or whoever being a part of this at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like they haven't. I mean, I want Drew in the main card.
I want Gunther in the main card. At this point,
did I say Drew? I meant to say Gunther. Yeah, I want Gunther in the main card. Of course. But I don't want him to lose again. So if that was like if they did it my way, then I wouldn't want him to be in it because then he would have to lose because I don't want him. I don't want him in the mid card. I want him to fucking Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think this is a good spot to like create new people to put in like the main title area, which is what they need. Like we've been asking for Gunther to be up there. This is his way to get in that world. Uh, yeah. Well, this sets up like Imperium versus New Day.
Yeah, the New Day comes out.
Uh,
Essentially they remind the world why they're good on the mic because they were killing on the mic.
yeah, that's
They
what
were
they do.
great. They were making fun of Gunther. Where's your what did they say? Where's your belt at, or where's your title at? They made a whole song, which there is an extended version. I haven't listened to it yet, but they made a whole song essentially of where's your title at, and that sets up another match between. Okay, so essentially, yeah, Xavier is like, I'm putting myself in this match because I'm a former King of the Ring, so
Fair.
yeah, which makes sense. And instead of all this talking, let's fight. And then Gunther's like, you can fight Imperium, and what was funny because I've seen online discourse too, but I didn't see anyone comment on what Xavier said. It's always just negative shit online, of course, obviously. But like, even Xavier is like, nah, bro, we already fought them. We fought them 1,000
Yeah,
times. I was trying to fight
I
you.
want to
Like,
fight
yeah,
them.
it's like we already,
I'm
yeah.
tired of fighting them.
Like
Yeah,
we had the blow off match, yeah, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago in that street fight. Yeah, I'm not trying to fight these. Like we just fought them, but anyway, we get that tag match. It was still a good match because they're two good
you're right.
ass teams. And if you're great wrestlers, it doesn't matter how many times you fight each other. The match is going to be different. Like KO and Sammy fought a billion times already on the main card, and each match was fucking different, and each match was fucking fire. Just shit like that. But yeah, so we get good tag team match. I didn't write down any spots. It wasn't the longest match ever, but New Day wins, and Gunther is very upset, and it looks like he's abandoning. It looks like he's leaving the team. It looks like he's like, fuck
Mm-hmm.
both of y'all. You know what? Everything I said in my promo, everything I said in the promo before is, I'm leaving y'all. But
I would agree, but he gives him a look. There's a slight look he
yeah,
gives Ludwig.
yeah. Which after that, Ludwig attacks Giovanni, and like you could tell. I mean, if you've been watching wrestling, you could tell. It's like, yeah, man, they look super sympathetic. Like, Lucas, like, man, you tried your best, you got it, man. We good, we good. It looks like the attack is going to happen in a ring, but they even leave the ring. So where it makes you think, it ain't gonna happen, And then Ludwig slams him into the LED board and starts beating the shit out of him.
Yep.
And he does this. He does the same attack that he did to Kofi and maybe Xavier, but for sure Kofi, where he puts him on this. He lands him on the steel steps near the announce table, and that's when like all the producers and refs they break it up. They try to send him away, and he's like, all right, I'm leaving. And when he gets close to the ramp, he kind of jukes them, acts like he's gonna go right, but sprints all the way left, all the way, runs and runs and runs, and then fucking drop kicks. Whether it's either an arm spot or it's a head spot. I can't really tell, but I think it's an arm spot. He drop kicks the stairs or whatever to injure the Giovanni even more. So
Yeah, I thought it was very well done. This was really solid. At first I thought like, oh, they're breaking up. Maybe one of them's getting drafted somewhere else, which is still a possibility. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if Giovanni just gets ridden off this way. He's on Smackdown or something, or I don't know if there's a story here. I'm in limbo, but I'm entertained and I'm watching.
yeah, and then after that, Ludwig walks all the way to the back, and Gorilla and Gunther's still there, and Ludwig says, "I told you I get the job done." So,
Scandalous.
so
Be your
essentially,
own boys.
essentially Gunther put the hit out. The way I would do it, based off what you just said, honestly, I would just because Ludwig and Stratton are dating, and we talked about this before. They're more than likely going to be on the same show. I don't know. I mean, we still have a couple days, so all this is speculation. I don't know if she's going to stay on Raw stay on SmackDown or get drafted Raw. But I'm assuming they're going to be on the same shows. And then since Gunther and Ludwig are still good, maybe they'll be on the same show. But you could also just split them up.
I also think that they've been drafting. Spoiler, but they've been drafting teams and groups.
Yeah, teams
Like
have not been
Bloodline got
broken up.
drafted.
Yeah,
So I think Imperium itself would be drafted to SmackDown.
Which,
I think,
yeah, that would be fine.
Would make sense.
Yeah, that would be fine. And they just
but that sets up Cody Gunther. That sets up Ludwig with Stratton. I think that's how they're going to handle this.
Oh, there's a gnat. Hold on. Oh, girl. Oh, never mind. All right, I'm gonna get that motherfucker though. Drew comes out. He cuts a good promo. They keep trying to say what, and he's like, "Say what if you French kiss your cousin?" They say what. He's really good at controlling the crowd.
You guys are sick. You guys are sick.
You guys are sick. He also declares for King of the Ring, so that's the third person tonight.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, Sheamus comes out. He has his old music. It was the music he had before I was watching, but it's actually a banger. I like it. He comes out and he's like, essentially, he's asking, "Why are you bitching, lad? Like, you know, like you lost, my nigga. Like you lost because you were doing some freaky shit on the table, twerking in front of CM Punk, like rubbing the fucking win in front of him, and you got your ass kicked."
So you got beat by one armed CM Punk.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, Sheamus comes out and essentially humbles him, and then just like a toxic asshole, instead of like taking the constructive criticism from your friend, he goes for the body shaming. He's like, you know, like instead of banger after banger, it looks like you've had burger after burger after burger, which was a good joke.
That was great.
It was a good
dude
joke.
Is good. He's good, yo.
But it's a bullshit. You know, you can't body shame your nigga.
Since you've been injured, man, it looks like burger after burger, and I'm like, damn.
And it even broke Sheamus, and he
it did.
Yeah, he's like, man, you're really good at these one liners. Like you're actually like you stepped your shit up. But he barred him up even more. He's like, I can lose the weight, but you can't lose stupid. And that's that's even a better bar to be. Like, man, I can lose this weight. Like we know what he looked like for many years. He had a workout channel. He can lose this weight.
He's still,
but you can't lose being a hating ass bitch.
For sure. By SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, maybe Sheamus is gonna be back in shape. He's gonna be straight.
Yeah,
easy.
And even if he's not, I'm fine. Like if like because essentially he, you know, obviously he had the neck injury, so he couldn't work out the way he would usually work out.
Right.
And apparently, I don't know how truthful it is. He got called up. Not sooner. I mean, obviously he's cleared because he's been wrestling, but he got called up maybe sooner than he was anticipating as far as like trying to get his body into shape. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's why he's thickness right now. But I'm fine with that. Y'all got to stop the body shaming.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's 2024. You know, we got, you know, I'm trying to revolutionize the kangaroo pack, a 4-pack with the kangaroo pouch. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? The real dad bod in this. Anyway. Enough about me. It sets up Sheamus versus Shinsuke. And before that match starts, Drew says something that sounds ominous, and he's like, he says, like, that's not me saying this shit. This is what the boys in the back were saying. They were making fun of you. Sheamus is like, I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Like, who cares what anyone else says? Like, why are you're obsessed? You have an obsession, and that's what your obsession is essentially causing you to fail. You're too online. Same shit that Damian said the other week. Same shit that Seth was saying. Then Drew says, I'm going to be here for your match, and I'm going to watch your, like, he emphasizes watch your back, which makes it sound like you should watch your back. But he's like, I'm going to watch your back.
Right.
Yeah, and he watches the match. So we get Shinsuke, Sheamus versus Shinsuke. Good match. We get
I think I don't got any spots or anything. I just got more so like a comment about Shinsuke. And I feel like Shinsuke is in a weird like limbo phase because Shinsuke is great. But he's been in like mid-card main event. He hasn't really been in the storyline. I guess if you want to say like the semi Cody build that he was doing like earlier in January, like what do we do with Shinsuke?
As of right now, what his role is,
he's putting people over. He put over Ilya last week.
It's a jobbing role, but it's not a bad version of a jobbing role. Like during the last like 5 months or plus, like he made Cody look stronger. He made Sammy look stronger. Yes, he's losing, but he's losing to build up these other characters. And the 2 characters I just named won championships at Mania. So, and it's like, and like he's doing that with Jay also. So it's like, yeah, like he's losing, but he's on TV every week. He's been in the main event a lot. Like he's like right now he's like the main. He's like the top 1 main event heel for like certain single stars, sort of. I
to
know.
elevate them.
Yeah, and he's just elevate people but he's one of those
He's a
characters.
learning tree.
He Jesus. There's a vortex here.
He's a learning tree.
Yeah, but just like how
Yeah,
we were talking about with Miz and some other characters, like he's one of those people you can heat him up at any moment. Like
you can. You can.
but he's right now like it's not like he's just dropping the scrubs. He's built like he helped build Sammy. He helped build Cody. He gave Ilya, which Ilya needed a main roster win on his debut. It wasn't even technically his debut, but it was his debut. And he was still an NXT champion, so you don't want to make the NXT champion look weak because that's officially the third brand now. Like he's in a weird place, but it's not a weird place. He's helping elevate stars. He's chilling. And he's making money and he's on TV everywhere. It's not like he's on catering and he's not like a jobber to where he's just losing to like nobodies. He's losing to people that are becoming champions. But he's going to get his because he's a Triple H guy. I feel like he's going to get his.
So like I saw like because earlier this week we were seeing that Jinder got released and he was saying like there was never been like an East Asian champion or just an Asian male champion in WWE and whatnot. And I don't want to see that potential like squandered with Shinsuke because he can do it. Like that is that guy.
And he deserves
but it's just right now he does. I just don't know where like we fit him in at. It's like we're talking about Gunther and Cody. We obviously we don't. I don't want to see like Priest run in early or nothing like that. But like we got to get the ball rolling in Shinsuke. The guy was a Royal Rumble winner. He didn't finish at that time. Like where do we fit him into where he can get elevated to where he needs to be? Not saying he isn't already, but Shinsuke is fucking amazing. The dude is good. I don't know what more you want from him, And that's the thing too, that sometimes you can just be a good fucking guy and a good employee and the shit just never comes your way. And I don't want that to be the case with Shinsuke.
I think he's going to get his because Triple H is, again, very different from Vince. I think Shinsuke is a Triple H guy. I just think right now he's in a role to where he's trying to help build, like he's building some other stars. Again, he's on TV every week. A lot of the time, it's the main event. Like, yes, he might be losing, but he's taking losses in the main event of Raw. And it's not like he's losing to like, some random, it's not like he's losing to Kira Tozawa, no disrespect to him, but he's losing to a Sammy, he's losing to a Jey Uso who, spoiler alert, one of the first, he's a first round draft pick, Cody Rhodes, he's losing to Cody, like, who is, champion now. So it's, he's in a jobbing role, but it's the jobbing role of building like these big stars. I firmly believe Triple H is going to give him a main title run at some point. If not, he's going to get another mid-card title at some point, and it's going to be a better run than he had with his previous Intercontinentals or U.S. title runs. He's just in a role to where he has like he's main eventing. He's just helping build other niggas because that's how good he is, and that's how cool.
It's true.
This is how good he is, and that's how much they trust him.
Yeah, because if you're getting work like this, you're definitely a trusted worker in the WWE. Like they love to work with you if they're putting you in multiple like segments.
He's in the main event almost every other week. Yeah. He's in the main event. So
it's just it just sucks. It just sucks at times.
I feel it because I wanted him to beat AJ. Like I feel like that was the perfect time.
Yeah,
and yes, the Asian representation for the longest time hasn't been the greatest. And them firing all the the Indians all at the same time is very questionable.
A little questionable.
It's questionable, but it's again, I want to give this new regime some leniency and some time, like because again, like we have like what they did with Io is amazing. What they're doing with Asuka is amazing. With like just even shit.
The women wise, they kill it with the women.
And like even when shit like them just being allowed to speak their own language in promos on a weekly basis, like when Shinsuke started getting the anime shit, like that is to me that's a step in the right direction.
It is, but there's also something like because to piggyback off of like what Jinder's video, because Jinder dropped a video about his release and said that like he'd be up in like 12 weeks and whatnot, but he said something about like I want to be pushed the way I want to be pushed. I want to be viewed the way I want to view it. I want to wear what I want to wear, basically, and saying that like he wants to have creative control over like what he looks like and how he's pushed. Now I could be looking a little too deep into it to maybe that's a shot at like, we didn't want to be, the stereotypical like, Indian dudes on TV, maybe we wanted to be pushed differently. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to, just seeing how he transitions himself into a certain character.
Mm.
This part of like getting released is also one of my favorite times. Not to say somebody, I don't want anybody to lose their job, but I want to see what you got. Let me
It's a
see
chance
what
to
you
rebuild.
Yeah,
You
let
know?
me see what you can do. We seen it with Drew. Drew left skinny, came back a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Cody went out and became a nightmare. Like, I love seeing these wrestlers
Created
reinvent
a whole other
themselves.
company.
You see what I'm
You know?
saying? Cardona is the biggest indie wrestler of all time right now.
Yeah.
Like, Cardona is solid.
And Jinder already trademarked a new name for his new thing. I don't remember what it is, but it's like Raj. I can't pronounce the last part. It's like Raj Diha or Desi or something like that.
Like, yeah, like let's get it. I want to see Jinder Mahal in like this new realm.
And
It's kind of funny. It's
yeah.
kind of fucked up that, like, I don't know if that would be on AEW from the back and forth between him and Tony, but money's money. We'll see. Anything's fucking possible.
I mean, hopefully TNA.
TNA might fit a little bit better. That actually might work a little
Just
bit
because,
better.
yeah, previous beef, and also they're not going to make you sign like a 5-year or something, so it's like he can
Right, so you can still be open to whatever.
But to comment on, like, not saying that what Jinder or Sangha, because Sangha said some stuff earlier when he got released too. Not to say that their feelings are invalid, because they're not, and like you're right.
They don't want to be used, bro. Like, they was getting used for like the views for India and stuff like that. Like, that's not cool.
Right. I mean, they were to a degree because they were getting pushes too. Like Jinder, honestly, Jinder, if you look at his career, like if you look at him as a character and just like, he's not the greatest in the ring. He's not the greatest on the mic, but he honestly, he overachieved. To me, like he had a long ass title reign. The fact that he even won the title off of Randy Orton is fucking what? Like it's not like he wasn't. They didn't like the last couple years weren't the greatest, but it's not like he was chopped liver either.
Right, he wasn't like bottom of it. He wasn't Veer. Like he wasn't one of them.
Yeah, he beat Shinsuke to retain the title. Like he had a long ass title run. Like he got
wild,
opportunities.
Though. Like, bro, we're talking like he was just beefing with the World Heavyweight Champion, had a spot segment with The Rock, and he's released 3 months later. Like that's insane to me, bro. That doesn't seem right.
That's
weird, yo.
Yeah, and
you don't trust somebody like that and then let them go 3 months.
No, I mean, no, you shouldn't. And we can talk about Cameron Grimes, because Cameron Grimes even mentioned, like, he in his interview, he talked about, like, he even went to a person and he's like, yo, I'm worried about getting released because I'm making a certain amount of money, but I'm not on TV. And that person said, no, you'll be fine. And like 3 days later, he's released.
And then it came out that, like, these are cuts approved by Triple H. It's a hard job. Yeah. I get that.
I mean, a lot of these people will come back.
Absolutely. A lot of these people are going to come back even better. But it's funny because even in like the Cameron Grimes interview, he was like, he said distinctively, you're either a Vince guy or you're a Triple H guy.
Right.
Because I thought I was a Triple H guy.
He is
to even see that a Triple H guy got released, it's like, shit, anybody can go, nigga. Like, it's a possibility. Because I heard like Cameron Grimes was over. I heard like he was killing NXT.
Oh,
like,
no, he was over as fuck. Him and LA Knight had such, like, I love Cameron Grimes. I love Cameron. Like, that release actually hurt me. Like, and usually releases don't super affect. Like when Keith Lee got released, I was affected by it. But usually, like, there's certain people where it's like, I know it's a business, and I know it's a corporation. Even though I do have attachment to these characters, and they are real, actual human beings. There's a part where we have to like nix that in the brain a little bit and realize that this is also like we all have real
life.
We all have real jobs, like corporate, like, and some of these people will come back, especially if they don't sign like for example, like Malachi would have been back if he didn't sign like a 6-year. Like there's certain people who would come back, like, so. But yeah, it is a business, but at the end of the day, it still fucking sucks and it's still fucking hurtful. But I think, but also like you were saying, this is an opportunity for people, like, even though Trinity left on her own volition with Sasha or with Mercedes, what she did in TNA, like, it improved her stock and improved her own self-confidence. Like sometimes you need this shit. Like Dolph is someone I think will come back eventually.
Dolph is going to be
even though he's like, I was in an abusive relationship, blah blah blah. Even though he said that the other week, I think he'll come back.
Dolph is great.
Because
I forgot about Dolph. I love Dolph.
Dolph was Dolph, New Day, and Seth were the first characters I liked when I came back in 2015. I loved Dolph.
Dolph was getting Shawn Michael like comparisons. Like he was like, because he was that fucking good. And I think that also what kills you too is that they put like these legends on top of you, pause, and then like you just can't super pass or supersede them legends.
Right,
Either way,
and that's a sports thing, and people just gotta stop doing that. It's like,
hey, you gotta stop doing that shit,
oh,
bro.
he's the next Tom Brady. Like, bro, can he throw a pass first? He hasn't played a single
What?
snap in the NFL, and he's like, oh, he's gonna be the next Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, as much as I hate the Chiefs, that motherfucker is special.
That
He's
motherfucker's
not just the
nice.
next Patrick. No one can just be the next Patrick Mahomes. That motherfucker is different. Like, he's different.
Period, bro.
Like,
Let these people be who they are, yo.
yeah, and that's what like there was that one dude Parker who was in NXT, and then he was at AEW, but AEW just released him. Like they were
The
saying,
next Brock, you
yeah,
killed his shit,
baby,
bro.
he's baby Brock,
You
bro.
killed him,
Just
bro.
because he's buff and white and
Blonde, white
like,
dude, like you fucked his shit up. Like, and I saw Parker when he was in WWE. I was like, damn, like Parker Bordeaux's like, okay, I see it. And then he got cut from there, and then he went to AEW, and like they were using like them that enforcer role. I was like, that's probably not for him. Like
no,
maybe he wants to do something different, yo.
yeah, this is gonna find our characters. All right, anyway, we get a bro kick out of nowhere. Sheamus wins. Man, this is going to be a long show, but it's going to be a great show because we still got special guest people. Anyway, Kathy Kelly talks. She talks to Sammy, and Sammy's like, man, I don't know what happened last week. I'm going to hear what Chad Gable has to say because I heard Chad Gable is going to speak. And then as he's talking to Kathy, Bronson says, yo, I'm up next. You got bigger problems. Fuck all that Chad Gable shit. I'm right here. I said last week I want who's next. And Sammy puts the title on his face. He's like, man, anytime, any place. I like, but I'm doing an interview right now. And Bronson's like, all right, bet. And then, he goes back to the interview for a hot second, and then Bronson comes out of nowhere and just what do you call it? A splat? Not a splash because he didn't jump off the rope, but he just runs into the motherfucker, essentially tackles him into the boxes or whatever the hell they are, twice. Just beats the shit out of him. So Sammy, he's like. They the last couple of weeks they've been talking about hunters and hunted. Sammy's understanding, as much of an underdog as he is, as much as a big he's hunted right now, and he got a huge ass target on his fucking back. And I'm liking that, and I'm wondering how they're gonna play off of that because between Gable and Bronson Reed, like no one has gotten off that nigga's neck yet. They're they are on him.
So he's on.
So yeah, after that's when Gable and Alpha Academy come out, and Gable explains himself, and now we're getting the heel turn of Gable, which is the maybe slightly inevitable heel turn with the rest of the group, or we'll see if they'll eventually don't go to the dark side, but we'll see. But he explains his attack. He says Sami Zayn essentially rubbed it in his face. He was fine with taking a loss, but then he set the belt in front of me. And then he was hugging his wife and right in front of me, all this other shit, which that part was some hater shit. But the way he conveyed it, it made sense. And he talks about Tozawa, like, you do your stupid little dance, but all you do is rack up losses. And Maxine, pretty as a princess, but dumb as a box of rocks. And, Otis, my main man, my number one guy, also my number one disappointment, essentially, or my biggest disappointment. And he's like, but this isn't me like dumping on you guys. This is just me saying hard truths. This is tough love. This is why you guys work with me. This is why you guys are training with me in general. I'm done training a bunch of losers, and I need you guys to work up to my level. And what you're going to do is you're going to help me win the IC title for us. Yes. Are you guys going to do that? Yeah. And essentially they all say yes.
Yeah. Very Kurt-esque. I know we just talked about not comparing people, but this was very, very much it gave me old heel Kurt. He did a really good job. I remember last week we talked about Gable didn't need the mouthpiece. He is the mouthpiece. You were right. This man, he got it. This man was grilling them the fuck up. And I like it. I like this heel turn of Gable. I think we're in for a very interesting part of his character for sure.
Now, there was rumors that Creed Brothers, he's going to work with the Creed Brothers to essentially form, another, Team Angle type thing. So, and if there's any truth to to those rumors and you base it off of the way Otis was reacting, yeah, maybe Otis and Tozawa and Magazine don't fully get involved or fully get on board with the heel turn at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when he brings in the Creeds. Because I'm like, again, yeah, I don't like the comparisons, but when it comes to Chad, like Chad and the Kurt comparison, it's a really good comparison, and it's not just because they're Olympians and they have medals and all this stuff, but it's the most logical comparison. And actually,
They're the
Kurt,
most similar.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Kurt even in an interview, because I read it today, like he even talked about like he even acknowledged that as well, and essentially was on board with like that particular similarity, and he was on board with the way the promo went and everything. So I don't know. It's he's going to get a single top. Like it's one of again like just like we're talking about Shinsuke. I mean, I didn't say this part, but it's just one of those things in wrestling, especially when it comes to all the companies, but like AEW and WWE, like they have such big rosters, and sometimes our favorites aren't going to fucking win all the time. Sometimes it's going to take a while for them to get a championship, and yet, like for me, I've been watching Shinsuke since he debuted in NXT, and yeah, I want him to finally have a main title championship, but the way certain characters are positioned right now, it might take a while. Gable, I don't know if he's going to get that IC anytime soon. And the fact that he said he just wants the IC is kind of, he should have just said a singles title, I feel like, so that it didn't cap him or for lack of a better term, handicap him to a particular title. He should have just said, you guys are going to help me get a single title so I can elevate this group. I think that would have been a better route.
Right.
But yeah, he's going to get one eventually also. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
I think
Sammy still has a big story to tell. Logan Paul still has a big story to tell.
that's it. We're now talking about the important parts to where like these superstars we want to win still have stories to tell. Sammy's story was him going through the bloodline, him getting beat up by bloodline, him having that match with Roman. Like you were just building up Sammy to where now we get Sammy as IC champion. Although I'm like, fuck, I wanted Gable to get it, but Gable hasn't had that much of a story yet. He hasn't had character development yet. This is the character development that we're getting. The story for Gable is starting right now.
And as much as over as he is, he's not more over than Sami Zayn.
No, I think heel Gable has a chance to do that. I think you could heel Gable, you're going to get that same kind of heat that heel Angle had got, and then like you may find the love there. Yeah. But yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, and hopefully he declares for King of the Ring or something. But anyway, let's move on. We've been talking for a minute. Let's see where we at. Okay, so yeah, after that, Ricochet and Dom talk backstage. They didn't say much, but the interesting part between that conversation, which we foreshadowed earlier in our conversation in the pod, was that as he was leaving the conversation with Ricochet, Dominic ran into Liv, and that was like they just had a little face off.
Now, I have thoughts. I made notes about this. At first, I let it pass me. I came back and watched it later during the week, and I'm like, what if? Hear me out. What if Liv takes Dom? What if that's the new play? What if like Liv's whole thing to Rhea was that she was going to take everything from her, right? So like, let's say Liv ends up getting the women's title from the winner. Let's say maybe Dom helps her out. What if Rhea comes back and Liv got Dom her belt? Like that's a good storyline there. Like she took everything from you. You came back and you had nothing. Judgment Day looking like it's on the rocks. What if Judgment Day's disbanded? Like,
and you're not the first person to think that, but I think, and I was also getting that vibe, and I think that's the story they're going to tell. We could always get it swerved, but I think you're right. Check out, I'm coughing.
Yeah, I think
which I think is why people need to be patient because spoiler alert, Liv doesn't win the main event tonight. But I think
but like I said, I went back. Yeah. The first time I watched it, I was like, "Fuck! Why didn't Liv get her shit?" And then I sat with it, and I was like, "Maybe this is the story that they wanna rock with."
And I think that's the story, and also prevent like tours in general. There's more than a few stops. Liv has only been here since January, If she's on a full
Yeah,
revenge tour, she got there's some more stops to go. You know what I'm saying?
and realistically, the tours, it's like they're about to go on this European trip. Like you got to have somebody to hold this women's title, and who's a better person to hold it than Becky? Like she's the most established. Spoiler alert: she's the most established like fucking star here.
Yeah, you put it on your star.
Um, we then get a Nia promo. Nia says she's going to eliminate each woman one by one. It was a very quick promo. We get Andrade.
I wrote real quick, serving a face card. Nia Jax. Beautiful
They
lady.
were talking crazy about Nia, which is wild. Like y'all gotta relax.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we can. I'm all fine with making fun of her anti-back shit or whatever. But as far as like, since she's been back, her in-ring and her mic skills have went up tremendously. So I'm not going to take any slander of her wrestling work, and I will never tolerate ugly slander or body shaming because she's a beautiful woman.
Facts.
So that's it. But now we get the tag match.
Yep, Andrade, Ricochet versus Santos and JD.
Yep. Yeah, JD McBobblehead.
I don't have anything for this.
It was. Let me see. Do I have any? There was a lot of good spots, but both teams. I'll say this: both teams were working like they worked with each other before. Like these were four solid ass workers. Like as much as I dislike JD as a human being outside the ring, his in-ring work is great. Santos in-ring work, great. Andrade, amazing. Great. Ricochet, great. Like this was those two teams. The way that it was so smooth, the way the match went. It's like man, it seemed like they were teaming with each other already. These seemed like two established teams already. That's how good they looked. It was really dope. I did write heels go for a double hurricane. Okay, so it's pretty much the ending to the match. This is the last spot. Both of the heels, they put Andrade and Ricochet on the top rope. They try to do a double hurricanrana, like they both hurricanrana each opponent. Andrade reverses his, which makes JD land on his back while he's laying on the mat. Santos hits his hurricanrana on Ricochet, but the way Ricochet lands, it's essentially a leg drop on JD, which then Andrade gets down. He does a back elbow to Santos, that sexy ass reverse back elbow thing that he does, and then he hits JD with the silencer, and that's the match. And that was a fucking as far as ending sequences go, that was a great sequence.
It was a clean finish. It was definitely a clean finish. My only note is that like I don't need Santos to get a belt, but I would love to see Santos as an individual like champion, like him just getting the push. Not happening anytime soon, and I'm okay with that. But like Santos is good. He's good on the mic. He has great in-ring ability. Like he got the gear. Like Santos is a good wrestler. He's a good performer right now.
Santos is amazing. He's one of my favorites. He's
the
only difference between him and Andrade, really, besides some of the moveset, is that Santos is better speaking at English. Otherwise,
his promos are better.
Otherwise, they're pretty much on the same level. Like they're two great ass like luchador Latino wrestlers. Like it's amazing, and just that and to have them in the same show, like that's a win. That's a win for the company.
It is
to have multiple people. Yeah, so good show.
It is. We then go backstage and Candice and Indy's getting interviewed.
Oh wait, real quick. Before that, so at the end of the match, Priest comes out and he attacks. He attacks Ricochet and he attacks Andrade, and then he yells at JD and Dom saying he doesn't need them, they need him. I don't need the Judgment Day. You guys need me. So again, more planning to whether it's ego or not, whether it's just because mommy's not there. It seems like Judgment Day.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like I don't need you guys. And it goes back to him emphasizing handle your business, which obviously they didn't. So, but yeah, after that, yeah. All right, go for it. Go.
I'm thinking. Do you think we get a Finn Priest match somewhere down the line?
I think so. And they had an awesome ass match in NXT a couple years back. It was fucking fire. Yeah, it was
throwing it out there. We're gonna see. Candice and Indy get interviewed. Says they don't have to explain their wins, but as they're getting interviewed, it gets interrupted by Nia and Liv just fucking scrapping in the back.
Yeah.
And as Nia and Liv are fucking scrapping, everybody's watching them. Becky does something really fucking clean, which is like takes the mic from the
It was either
the interviewer.
yeah, it was either Kayla or Jackie. I'm not sure. I
Um,
think.
and does one clean camera shot promo to the ring. Like she's talking as she's like walking towards the ring.
Very similar to what Kevin Owens did the previous week.
Yeah. And I like her as a spot. I like her spot a lot more than I like Kevin. Not saying Kevin was bad, but I love the way she did it here. She stops and sees Maxine and gives her some words of encouragement. Basically telling her this is your first battle royal. She's like, yeah, like don't worry about it. You got this. Go out there and do your best, the whole nine. And then as she's heading towards the ring, she tells Triple H to get the camera ready. She's gonna need a new picture, and then kicks off like her interest music. And it's like
it's fire.
We all know it's fire, bro. We all know Becky is like she's the one. Like, what you gonna do? She's John Cena of the women's division. Like, what you gonna do, bro? Unbeatable. She has the pull. She has the mic skills. Like, that's what it is. What it is. We get the women's battle royal. The only thing that confuses me is that we have tag teams in this battle royal, which I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not saying you haven't seen it before, because you've seen in the Rumble where people are teams that are in there and shit like that. But I'm thinking from the aspect of, like, the draft is this week anyway. Why not like just get some people to come in and work the battle royale? Like, because no matter who wins this, they were end up going to be on Raw anyway, and it's draft week, so it works out.
Well, I mean, we don't know. I mean, not all these women have been drafted yet, so we don't know what shows they're going to go to. But they originally
they needed some talent in this battle royal.
Yeah,
not saying none.
Okay. I'm sorry, but that's the thing. Like before the show started, it made it seem like it was going to be any woman because you and I talked, we thought SmackDown women were probably going to be in it, like Bianca, and like there was I don't remember if it was Wrestling Purist or who, but they posted like all the potential women because it's like supposed to be Xia Li, and then she got released like 3 days before and whatever. But
sure.
it seemed like it was all Raw women, so I think that's why like they included the tag teams because it was just literally just the Raw roster. It was just anyone on the Raw roster.
It just put in perspective to me, like once again, like they're working on the development of the women's like roster, but it's like at this point I realized that I'm looking at the people in this battle royal, and only 3 of them had a legit shot that would have made sense for them to win, and that was Nia, Liv, or Becky. And I didn't like that possibility of like looking at that and like, damn, I already know one of these 3 is going to win. It's probably going to be, I want to Liv, but it's probably going to be Becky. I would have took Nia and been cool with that. Like if Nia would have won it, I like that because that's a transitional champion. Not saying that in a bad way, but Nia could have held it down for a little bit, and then we'd have been cool.
Yeah, Nia and Becky were the most logical choices to me. In low key, I kind of wanted Nia. I'm not even gonna lie, but Becky was the best choice.
Absolutely, business wise, Becky is for sure the best choice
because there's I saw people mad at it. There's people like
originally I was
Becky Hogan was trending.
That's fucking funny,
which is fucking wild because Becky doesn't even politic like that. There's never been a story of Becky politicking like that. Literally, she like because people are like, oh, she never puts people. She puts so many women over. Like the match with Xia Li that she had was Xia Li's best match. Like the match with Tiffany Stratton in NXT was Tiffany's best match, and that's why she's on the main roster.
Did she put over Lyra? Didn't
yes, Lyra beat the title off, took the title off of her. Like the shit. Like even though like I was at the SummerSlam when she beat Bianca in like 5 seconds, but the build between that and I was so pissed. I was pissed for like
you were there for that.
Yeah, I was there. Nick and I and my wife and his wife, like we were at that show. I saw that show live. I was in Vegas,
damn.
And I was pissed. I was so fucking confused. I was in the stands, confused, angry. I was angry for months. But you see the build to all that until that match at Mania, and it was fucking worth it. It was so let's say like because we were just talking about Liv taking everything from Rhea. So let's say like between now and then Rhea comes back, Liv gets this title. It's going to mean so much more because Liv has not beaten Becky yet ever, and by Liv finally beating Becky for this title makes Liv strong. Like Becky's going to put her over. Even if it's not Liv who takes the title off of Becky, whoever does beat Becky is going to be put over because it's fucking Becky Lynch who has the title. So her winning this title was literally. It was honestly the 2 best choices was her or Nia, because if you beat Nia 1-on-1, that makes you fucking strong as shit, makes you credible as shit, because it's fucking Nia Jax. She's a goddamn beast. But if you beat Becky, the fucking man, a 7-time champion now, Royal Rumble winner, Elimination Chamber winner, like that makes you even a bigger star. So yeah, her winning was the best choice. And if Liv is the one to take her down to set up the whole Liv and Rhea feud, it's going like
It makes the most sense.
it
Yeah,
makes the most
you're not
fucking
wrong.
sense,
You're not wrong.
and it's going to be good.
Yeah, my shit was just more so like a lot of these women just had no chance, and I hate that feeling. Like, because a lot of these women do deserve it, but like, damn, they're really bare bones over there. So hopefully, this new regime of Triple H, we're getting more women to like break that veil and like become main event like talent. I think Money in the Bank is a good place to do that. Maybe even before that. As much as I would think that like Tiffany would be your for sure winner for the Money in the Bank, I would love to see somebody else be catapulted into being a star.
You know, at
But we'll
this
talk
point,
about that
Tiffany
when we
doesn't
get
even
to that.
need it. Yeah,
You
we'll
don't.
talk. Yeah,
You don't need
she's
it.
over her shit. She's great in the ring. She's great in the mic, and yeah, we'll talk about it on SmackDown. But I mean, she already has an
Um,
opportunity. So
yeah, like as far as like elimination spots, like Maxine has a couple spots where she eliminates both Candice and Indy.
yeah, you see a little edge to her, not heel, but a little edge.
She's
More
she's not
confidence.
taking no shit. Absolutely, yeah, more confidence.
Mm.
Uh,
The best spot in the
the
whole
EDM,
match. Oh no, go for it.
the EDM girls have some dope spots.
Yeah, of course.
They're really good at that. It's just once again like I just need character development from EDM girls. Maybe I don't know if that's gear change. I don't know if that's music change. I don't know what it is, but like
Just more backstage
something.
stuff. Some more like,
But
who are these?
it's just
Yeah,
like story. Who are you? Like what do we know about you? Like I don't know. It's just something.
Yeah.
It's a good showing that like because Nia eliminates Maxine. Like it's a good showing that Maxine was going after the biggest person there. It didn't really work out in her favor, but it is what it is.
Nia and Piper go at it for a minute. There's a spot outside where Nia tries to put Becky and Piper through the table, but that shit does not break, and it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't break until the commercial break, which they show us the replay. But yeah, no, she tries to do it twice, and that table does not fucking break, which was funny. But the best spot of the match was Chelsea Green, which during that whole table shit, all the rest were distracted. Natalia eliminates Chelsea Green, but since none of the rest saw it, she just hops back on the thing and is like, nope, no one saw it, and she gets back in the ring. And I've never seen that before, whether it was a Rumble or any Battle Royale, but that was easily the best spot.
Nobody seen this shit? All right, I'm going to slide right back in. Yeah, Chelsea Green's a great talent, too. She also really fucking wrestled. So I can't wait till the day where we get to see her like actually like get in and have maybe like a 7 to like 10 minute match.
That's my money in the bank. If I had to choose the Money in the Bank,
that's
that's
good.
That's what I'm choosing.
Chelsea Green as Money in the Bank would be solid
because it'll be funny, and yeah, eventually she can get it. It'd be similar to like Carmella for me.
I like where you're going with that. Carmella is just more deranged because Chelsea Green is.
Well, yeah, and she also had that weird ass no chin pedophile dude that she was working with at that time too. So,
I forgot about that shit.
What's that his name? Yeah. Anyway.
Overall, I wrote down like I feel like everything seemed predictable, but that's like it's I don't know, it's just that was just the feeling of it.
It wasn't similar to Elimination Chamber where it wasn't a bad predictability.
Nah,
like it was one of those moments where it's like if you're a fan and you've been paying attention to the show, you're being awarded to paying attention to the show. It was predictable, but it wasn't a bad predictable to where it's like, oh, this is lame. Kind of
right. The injury to Rhea definitely changed the trajectory of a lot of shit, and they're just like no huddle in the fucking women's division right now. Yeah. Overall, though, the theme was teams breaking up. This Raw felt like a lot of separation from a lot of factions. Like Judgment Day is going through it. Imperium lost a member. DIY is like on the fritz right now. Like it seems like people are just not fucking with each other. Which that also carries over into SmackDown, but we'll go over that. Dynamite.
Yeah. I mean we're at 2:20. You want to do the music break here?
Nah, oof. Yeah, we'll do audio break. Let's do audio break real quick. And when we come back, we're talking about AEW Dynamite.
And SmackDown.
right, and we're back, people. We're gonna dive into Dynamite this week. This is the Dynamite after Dynasty, so a lot of different stuff happened this week. We're gonna kick it off. That this week was also the NFL draft, and Tony Khan getting a lot of views, a lot of action. A lot of people asking why does the son of the Jaguars have on a neck brace, or son of the Jaguars owner has on a neck brace. My original note here was like, who would have thought that the brawl in footage would lead to Tony Khan with a neck brace through the NFL draft? That the whole angle is being flipped right now through the NFL media. They're like, he's keeping kayfabe alive, but wearing the neck brace, which I appreciate. And like in hindsight, this shit kind of worked out for him.
Kayfabe to a degree.
Until this man, to a degree,
because he was turning his neck and
he
shit
gets the opportunity. Yeah, that shit was funny. He was definitely moving his neck. But he gets an interview with like some ESPN or NFL Network analysts. They're talking to him about AEW and just exactly what had happened. And somewhere along in the interview, he says AEW is like Pepsi of pro wrestling, and that the WWE is like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling. And I'm like, fucking hell. Like, the dude was so close to where all you have to do is be like, you know what? AEW it's where the best wrestle. That's what they've been saying. That's been their shit. That's your spiel. AEW is where the best wrestle. Check us out. We're XYZ. The Weinstein jab was kind of it was kind of wild.
I wouldn't even say kind of.
It was not. It was like, and I only say kind of because it was like, is it warranted towards Vince? Yes. Would you say that shit? No. Should you say that shit? Absolutely not. You shouldn't sit there and like talk about Weinstein and shit like that, because we all know what the fuck Vince did.
Right, but he wasn't talking about Vince. He was talking about
the WWE. Exactly, and that's where I don't like it either, because then you put that on the whole company, and like that's not what them people who work there is about. That's what they're trying to get away from.
Yeah,
in essence,
essentially, Tony called every single worker a sexual predator, and he
said the WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling.
Yeah.
He didn't say
no.
He didn't say individually anybody, but he called the whole company.
He called the whole company an evil juggernaut in the Harvey Weinstein. So essentially, what you're saying is that whole company is a bunch of predators or something. Like
but it's also like
if they were asked him a specific question about Vince, then that's warranted.
Yes. But I think the thing is that I hate about it, because it's like we're talking about the talent and the people that have been there at WWE. Absolutely. But this juggernaut of WWE was built off of some weird ass Weinstein motherfucker. Should I say it? Would you say it? Would I say it? Fuck no. But he's not lying. Well, that's who Vince is. But I wouldn't say that shit. Talk about your company.
I mean, yeah, we could talk all day whether he was lying or not. I just look, at the end of the day, that was not the time to say that. It's like you're on NFL Network. You had the chance to put on your own, put
it over.
They already had multiple spots of you like talking about you being in this neck brace. Like they're buying the bit. They're into the bit. Like they're buying it, and you have the chance. Like, and then you still take a shot. So, there's just multiple problems with it, because one, it was unnecessary. Two, it was definitely uncalled for. It was offensive. It's offensive to anyone who's a victim or a survivor. At least it might be. I mean. It's offensive. I don't know what school you went to, but comparing a soda to a criminal,
to Harvey Weinstein, doesn't make insane. The comparison didn't even make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh man, our podcast is a Simply Lemonade, but that other podcast, man, they kind of like the Adolf Hitler. Like, what are you talking? Like, what
that's the Diddy over there.
Yeah, like what? They like, what are we like? That's not a comparison. It makes no sense. And like,
the only thing that like I know what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know what anybody's doing. But I'll tell you what I think. I think that Tony is grade A troll. Like, bad troll. Not good troll. Bad troll. To where he knows that anything that he says negatively will get the views that people want. It gets the reaction. It gets what people want to talk about. Yes, there will be some people who come out and like, I don't want to go to an AEW show because of what you said. That shit's fucking insane. I don't like that. but he understands that heat is eyes. He understands that whatever he says will get people to come in. That's the thing about the punk shit. The videos that it got people to watch. It's weird and it's dumb, and I wouldn't use that shit. But he knows that's what it is, bro. Like
Right.
he can say this dumb shit, and people will tune in.
It's like all publicity is good publicity. I mean, like that's a saying, but
At what cost?
Yes, at what cost? Because it goes into what we were talking about with Jericho. Is like he was getting heat. Like people were saying, "Go home." And I know as a wrestler, and in his mind, just based off of what we know about him, as far as like his internet version, like he thinks like, "Oh, we're doing good, man." Like, don't worry, Hook, you'll get your win back. Like so. In this sense, Tony Khan probably think like, "Hey, they're talking about us. They're talking about us. Yeah, but they're talking about us." But it's like, dude, like even then, like you gotta read the room. Also, using it doesn't matter what company or. Okay, just fuck wrestling. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Using sexual assault as a way to have a gotcha or to dunk on somebody, or like, it's not cool. Like at the end of the day, we have to think about the fucking victims. Like using Vince's allegations to be like, "Oh, this is why my company's better," is not a good like that it misses everything else. It's not a good look. It's not.
But the other coin of that is that like we've sat here and said no Diddy before.
Yes.
Like that's offensive and dismissive to the people who's actually been touched by that man for sure.
Which is why we should go back to pause. We should.
But like that's what that shit is, and not to laugh at that, but it's like that's the fucked up parallels of the fucking world. Like the thing is, as a business, bro, like focus on your shit. Like you had the opportunity to put your shit over on top, but nobody wants to hear the nice guy talk about their business. And there's a reason why people like the Skip Baylesses. There's a reason why people check out the Joe Rogan podcast. It's like the nice guys nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to listen to them.
Yes.
And it's fucked up. That's just the world. That's how the world works.
Humans love controversy. We love nasty stuff. We do. And I understand that. But the part that makes it not make sense is that one, Vince just he's selling all his shares, so he has zero ties, and also like you guys on this show this week just had again the lowest rating since 2021. Focus on your own shit. Like you're like you Tony Khan complains about tribalism. But
he feeds it.
But he's one of the biggest people in that company that feeds it the most.
He knows it draws eyes. It does this. We have discourse about it, which means we're talking about it, which means somebody else is going to hear us talking about it, which means they're going to fucking look up the shit. He causes the discourse to talk about his brand. It's wild, bro. It's the craziest shit because I would never do no shit like this, but it makes sense from an aspect of like, oh, you want to talk about my stuff? Well, I'll say this. And then what you going to do? You're going to Google AEW, you're going to Google Tony Khan. Tony Khan says, what about WWE and Harvey Weinstein? Why he say that? Oh, shit. I didn't know Vince McMahon got into his lawsuit about XYZ. It's just a rabbit hole effect. It's a genius troll tactic. It's like the rich kid with a lot of money fucking with you. That's what it, and that's why people don't like it.
But it's not
because you can't touch them.
It's not genius. I mean, it's genius to the degree because only stupid people are going to follow that. Because you also
the world is stupid.
Yes, I know the world is stupid. That's how we got Trump in office. But it's like, dog, you have like it's I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Like we're only talking about it because I mean this is like our job. This is our passion out. It's wrestling news. That's why we're talking about it. If I didn't give a fuck about wrestling, we wouldn't be talking about it. But also, it's like it's fun. It's a funny thing to say when you have Ric Flair, Chris Jericho, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara. You have all these weird ass people that also have allegations on your payroll. Now you could argue that Brock is still there on the other side, but he's damn near been erased. Like he's still being paid, but he's distant. That Drew Gulak shit when Ronda Rousey said the shit about Drew Gulak, he's been
got rid of that boy.
They got rid of him. Like he hasn't been released, but he's like they wrote him off. They killed him off. They technically killed like Tony. Technically, there's a murder in NXT that's never going to be investigated. Like, kayfabe wise,
swim with the fishes. Like they killed him off.
Kayfabe wise, he is dead. So
it's
you got to distance yourself from that shit. And I don't know it. At the end of the day, it's a weird ass
It's dirty
comment,
water, but people want to play in the dirty water.
right?
Like
But
that's just how it is, bro. It's so weird
they take shot.
because like
They take shots every week. This just was not the time to do it.
nah, I will agree. I wanted to go. I would went somewhere else. I thought he was in a hot spot to where like you got Jack Perry over on a CM Punk fight. You had one of the greatest pay per views with the greatest of all time match. Like you're in a very good spot. Talk about your show. He says, "We're Pepsi. They're Harvey Weinstein," which is fucked because it's like I said, Vince. Yeah, the company that Vince built when Vince was there, he was doing this shit inside WWE. Yeah, but not anymore.
Yeah, and also
But you can't say anything. It's weird, bro. It was weird.
Yeah,
It was very weird.
and also there's no such thing as a good billionaire. Like as much as Tony Khan, his hands are not clean either. Like there's been plenty of stories of him ghosting people, or like instead of
I've seen stories about the Jacksonville Jaguars medical team don't really be taking care of their players and shit like that.
Exactly. There's all this shit with CM Punk where he's like, I had to pay for my own surgery, and Tony Khan was like, man, I didn't know that. I'm going to look into it. Usually we do it, but I don't like the fact that you own the company and you don't know if your biggest star was like compensated for his like. I don't know. That's another red flag and another conversation. But it's just like at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a good billionaire. No billionaire's hands is clean. So like.
But and the same could be said about WWE as well, where it's like, I'm not defending WWE. I'm not defending Triple H and all of them because just as much as you say that, like, we had no idea Vince was doing shit, you definitely knew about the other shit that Vince was doing. You knew about the racism, you knew about the sexism, you knew about all that extra shit. So, like, I'm not defending anybody. All you motherfuckers is weird because y'all seen this shit happen and didn't stop anybody. Tony's weird for talking about calling him a rapist. Triple H and all of them is a little weird because it's like, y'all can't control Vince, but y'all didn't stop or change anything for the better. Like at least from what I've seen.
That's if they knew. We don't know if Triple H knew or not. But my point,
even if you don't know about the Janelle Grant situation, I mean just more so in general of like, women like feeling like they're right. The racism tactics that's happened. Bobby and his sisters, that shit was on fucking TV and shit like that. I didn't hear nobody talk about Bruce Pritchard making sure that Bobby's sisters were men in fucking dresses and shit. They put that shit on TV. That's representation to y'all. That's what you think is like.
That shit was ass.
That
was part.
That was trash.
That was part of the worst years of WWE when I was watching. My point with the billionaire thing is like, as fans go, they put Tony on some weird pedestal, and it's like at the end of the day, like I'm not saying he's a Vince, or I'm not saying he's a Jeff Bezos. I'm not saying he's a Bill Gates, but no billionaire is good. Like there's plenty of dirt on him. It's not like crazy dirt. It's not the same type of dirt. Like, oh, you need to like just at the end of the day, no billionaire is good. So like let's not put these people on a pedestal because they all kind of suck. And it's
weird to be like, my billionaire is better than your billionaire. Meanwhile, I'm broke. Like, fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas, bro. What the fuck? They just own a company that I am entertained by. Yeah. I don't like. I got nothing for them, bro. Like. They don't care about necessarily me in particular. Yeah. So I'm good.
I think our audio is a little off. So if I'm cutting you off, that's an accident. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, you all good.
All right. But
yeah,
as far as the start of the show, because I have a thing I want to rant about real quick too. As far as the start of the show, because the show starts off with Trent Beretta, if I'm not mistaken. Or Chuck. As far as like the opening of the show, the first match is or what's the first match?
The show opens with Okada in them.
Okay,
coming out the cars. Yeah,
I mean that part's fine. That's just a video thing. But,
yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, okay, because I'm not the only one that has this complaint. If you guys are part of the wrestling community, you've probably seen someone, particularly like Bully Ray, talk about it, and some other people talk about it. But why is the show not opening up with Swerve? And before anyone gets on me, I'm not asking for a WWE 40-minute promo of your opening champion. I'm not asking for any I'm not even saying Swerve shouldn't have had a match that night. That's fine. But you guys, I'm saying you guys. Okay. Anyway, we made. Swerve winning this championship is supposed to be a big deal. First black championship in AEW. It's supposed to be this crazy big deal. and you start off the show with fucking
best friends
shit. Like, why is Chuck opening, besides the video, besides Young Bucks or whatever? Why is Chuck opening the show? Like, why we have like having your first black AEW champion should be a big deal. He could still have that match with Fletcher, even though I do have a problem with that match. Because why is Fletcher in a fucking title match against Swerve when he's 0-6 in all of 2024? It's not a title match, it's an eliminator match. But why? For what? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And, I mean, he could still have the match, but it didn't need to be 15 minutes. It could have been 5. Your champion, your new champion, is having a 50-50 match with a nigga who's never won. That is a problem to me. It is a problem to me that he's not opening the show. Does he need to do a Raw Cody Rhodes 20, 30-minute promo? No, he doesn't. I want AEW to be different. That's why it's an alternative. But goddamn, make that win feel important. It's supposed to feel important. If I was young me, I like, and we're looking at our first black champion. Like, what the fuck is this?
I want to see that.
He should be like, he's a rapper. Give him a concert. Have him pop some bottles of champagne or something. Like, what do niggas in Tacoma, Washington drink? Fucking Mad Dog? Have him pop a bottle of Mad Dog. Wait, let me type this on. People in Tacoma, motor oil. You telling me you couldn't get some OW24 SAE? Like, make this title feel important. What the fuck?
Okay.
You have Chuck Taylor open this show?
I got it. I got you. So what I seen was planned is that, because I was like, damn, like he should open the show too. But from what I've read and what I've seen is that they're saving that moment for on Saturday, today, after the playoff game, because they come on right after the playoff game. So they want to garner all the views from that.
Yeah, they're trying to get all the black people.
Here's my issue with that though, is that if that was the case, I would have been better off like, fuck, he's white, like just don't have him on the show. Because if you want to garner that reaction, save that for today when they air this show.
Yeah, announce
because
that.
You want to pull all those people.
Exactly.
And announce that Saturday collision after the NBA playoffs.
We hear from
Swerve Strickland, first time ever. Boom, I'm good. But you had him on the show and he's wrestling Kyle Fletcher, and which was a good match, by the way. And I do agree with you. Why the hell is Kyle Fletcher there? But Kyle Fletcher is the Nightwing to Will Ospreay's Batman.
Not even that. The nigga is 0-6.
He's a tease. He's under the Ospreay like umbrella. He's a tease. That's all it is. He already fought Takeshita. Hobbs is doing stuff with Mox that same day. You're not going to give him Ospreay just yet. He has to fight that guy because that's the next up in the big fucking rivalry.
He didn't have to fight. He didn't have to fight anybody. But if he was going to fight somebody, it could have literally been anybody else. Like, honestly. It's not even the fact that he fought Kyle Fletcher. It's the fact that he went 15 minutes with Kyle Fletcher. Again, he is 0-6. It doesn't have to be a blonde. It doesn't have to be a blonde breaker squash, but it could have been a 2 minutes. He gets a couple punches off, maybe a suplex. I do my shit. You hit the swerve kick or whatever the fuck it's called. End of the match. He does like 15 minutes going 50-50 with the nigga who's never won. Crazy. It doesn't make you look good. It doesn't make Joe look good. It doesn't make the title look good. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been against Kyle Fletcher. He shouldn't have wrestled that day, period. I do respect the idea of like a working champion, but like
I love
against Kyle Fletcher. And I love Kyle Fletcher, but that's fuck. How does this compare to SmackDown? Not comparing it, but we just had somebody new who should not be in the ring with Cody. What's the difference? Carmelo shouldn't be in the ring with Cody.
Carmelo was a first round draft pick, the first ever NXT first round.
This is true.
Also, Carmelo helped Cody come back from injury after his pec injury. He was the one that trained him, and it wasn't like it was like a title match.
He shouldn't be. That's also true, but he shouldn't be wrestling Cody. You shouldn't be touching Cody.
He can touch Cody.
Be that as it may.
The biggest difference is that Cody's like 3 weeks in being a champion. He's had multiple talks, and this is not his first match technically. Swerve just got this belt, and he didn't even get to speak. And the first time he's speaking is on Saturday to garner extra views because you're doing it after basketball, which means you're trying to specifically get black people to see Swerve. Like, let's keep it a bean. Just the same way that we had the Wingstop shit during the Asian black women match. It's the same. It's the same concept. You're having Swerve start off after the NBA match so that you can see black people see a champion and be like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me stay and watch." That's fine, I guess, but also it's not fine because Collision doesn't get the same amount of viewers as fucking Dynamite. So that means you're not holding your championship, your main champion, like you're saving your main champion's first speech to a show that doesn't get as many views as your main show. That does not make any sense.
It doesn't, but it also does in a sense because we know Collision doesn't get as many viewers. Let me piggyback this off of the niggas from basketball, and let's try to bring in some of those black audience. I do agree with that. I do agree with the idea of like after wrestling, immediately. I mean, after the playoff, immediately go into whose house Swerve comes out. Don't do me. I don't need nobody else. Swerve has to open that show. If Swerve doesn't open the show tonight, it does not work at all.
He's supposed to open a show.
Like, it does not work. He should have opened this week. You are right. I will give you that. But the whole idea was like him doing fucking Collision, which if that was the case, don't have him wrestle Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite. Did I enjoy the match? Absolutely. From a fan perspective, I loved it. From a perspective of like champion wise, don't do that.
They're good wrestlers. Of course they're gonna have a good match. They're good wrestlers and people like them. Like, but it's about the presentation and how the show presents people, because they're presenting Moxley, they're presenting the IWGP more importantly than they're doing this one. And they're having, and spoiler alert, we'll talk about it, but we're having Ospreay go against fucking Roddy, which makes that title feel a little more important because it's fucking Ospreay. Ospreay is like the biggest star in this company at this moment. And and you know, you have Mercedes going to TBS. So it makes
everybody's story is like, where's Swerve's story? We're gonna figure it out. Hopefully on Collision we'll get that. But like, I do agree with that. Like, everybody else's titles feel really important right now. Like, everybody's shit feels,
except for the main women's and the main men's, and that's weird, and it doesn't make any sense. As big as Toni Storm is, and Toni Storm is one of the biggest stars in that company, one of the biggest characters, one of the best characters, that title does not feel as important as the TBS right now. And that the reason why is because Mercedes and Willa has a better story, and it's Mercedes, and it's a new hire, and all yada yada yada. You got Moxley, who's one of the biggest stars. He just got a different company's
IWGP,
belt, and he has a match with Will Hobbs, and that had more time than Swerve.
Yeah, I would just would not, but you can't not have your champion on to show that he wins it. I don't know, it's fucking
which is
weird.
Why he should talk.
But like,
the fact that I have to fact that I'm defending Swerve makes me upset right now. But the way he's being presented is like, dude, like it's giving transitional already, and it's only been the first week.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, let's go to the show.
We'll see. We kind of briefly talked over it, about it, but Cassie's music hits. Trent Beretta's dragging him out to the ring. Trent's talking to Chuck, or calls out Chuck Taylor, tells him he spent the last 5 years behind this narcissistic prick. He was supposed to be the mascot, but he took over. Tells Chuck to give the people what they want. Basically wants them to choose a side. Chuck attacks Trent with the mic and says he won't fight him. He says they won't clear him for a match in the ring, so fuck it, he'll fight him in the parking lot. Which I took that as a hint that could be a street fight, a double or nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if you do Trent, Beretta, Orange Cassidy street fight. Like, that just seems like something that they would do. Two best friends fighting with no rules. Mox ends up, we get a Mox promo. He cuts a promo on Hobbs. Gives a lot of praise to Hobbs and the power of Hobbs. Talks about the Callis family taking out his friends. You know, just hinting at, like, you know, Ospreay knocking out or taking down Claudio and Daniel. Goes on to say tonight he's going to remind the world of who he is when all the oxygen is pulled out of Hobbs' lungs. We then get the Swerve Kyle match, which I thought was, like I said, just an entertaining match. Once again, do agree that it should not have been on TV per se and not for the title. I don't fucking know, but it did more for Kyle Fletcher than it did for Swerve. It shows Kyle Fletcher working against, like, I think it did because it didn't make Swerve look good.
It didn't make anybody look good. Kyle Fletcher.
It didn't make. it didn't make Swerve look good because he went 15 minutes with Kyle Fletcher, but Kyle Fletcher did go 15 minutes with the champion. Be that as it may, how that looks, it does look good that you can go that long with the champ.
Kyle Fletcher went 15 minutes with Ospreay 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he did that too. The
match didn't do anything for either character, which is why he shouldn't have fought Kyle. He should have just fought. He should have fought someone from Dark Order or something, and it shouldn't have been fucking 15 minutes.
He shouldn't have fought nobody. Period.
He could have fought somebody. Could have been a 3-minute match. Swerve kick that nigga in the temple, then do a concert. I'm your champion now. I did this shit. Thank y'all niggas. I'm the first black champion. But they're gonna save it for a show that no one watches, and on the gamble that niggas is gonna not change the channel yet. And I mean niggas as in actual black people. They're gambling. Like they were like, let's save it for Saturday and hope a nigga doesn't change the channel on TNT. That's just
black
weird.
People don't change the channel. They will leave the channel on. I've seen Super Bowl games at Thanksgiving. That they will be on NBC for 3 hours while we eating leftovers. The second time.
That's because they eating, bro. But if it's some bullshit, you know damn well your mom or auntie or somebody's like, "Will you change that damn shit? Put on some fucking Family Feud." Like, come on. Like,
yeah, it's like I said.
We'll see.
I have my feelings about it.
I'm going to let it play out. I will let it play out, but I just want to say I'm upset.
Yeah, it's a fair reason to be upset.
I'm defending Swerve. Y'all got to be upset.
We get a backstage interview from Renee. She interviews Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa mentions how she's proud of her accomplishments. She's not making excuses for her losing. We then get Deonna Purrazzo in there, and they just start brawling. So the next story is going to be Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa, which I'm cool with because Deonna's a great fucking wrestler. Thunder looks great from her last match at the pay-per-view. Give it to me. Next match is Mina Shirakawa versus Anna Jay.
Shout out to Deonna for not being stuck in ROH yet. She trying. She doing her artist.
Anna Jay, Mira Shirakawa. This match was ran a couple weeks back on ROH. I remember watching it then. It was a quicker match. This one's a little bit longer. These Stardom girls, or this one, Mira, solid. It's a mixture of like technical wrestling, like submission, with a little bit like luchador style. Like I ain't never seen them wrestle, but if all the talents of Stardom can really go like this, I'm very impressed, and I'm looking forward to the rest of them and what they can do. Also, they're charismatic. Their gear is solid. The music is energetic. Like they have a way to get over without actually speaking into the mic or doing a promo or anything like that.
We talked about it before. Japanese stars have a certain swagger.
They got it, bro. They got it.
Every company,
every company, they got it.
They have a certain swagger that Americans love, which, I mean, honestly could have been a new segment too, but there was an interview with some of like the New Japan people, like a lot of the people that a lot of the Japanese owners and shit of the respective companies, and they were like they felt resentment because they essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, like, man, we feel like a farm for the Americans because like they're taking all of our talent, and we're having, and then one of the dudes was like, I'm a little jealous by the way that WWE in particular, they are able to create new talent. We can't do that. So we're having a hard time creating new stars, and the stars that we do have are going to WWE or AEW, or at least working with AEW. And then some of them are going to go to Marigold now too.
What if, because remember we had this conversation about the PC and how you want the PC to be universal. You want everybody to be able to go to the PC and just train and get reps and shit like that. What if there's a possibility, and this would be, I think it'd be a good idea, is that AEW builds their developmental process over in Japan. I think that like you would help them out and help them cycle through like their talent and whatnot, but you're also flooding in your young talent that needs to work over in Japan. And that's just the style that AEW wrestlers want to see anyways, that New Japan style. Like, that's what gets over. That's what gets the ratings. That's what gets the 5-star matches that AEW is looking for.
Because AEW fans also love American indie stuff, which is why we have a lot of spots. Like, that's why we have the Young Bucks. That's why we have like some of the crazy like spot fest type shit. And also, then there's the whole luchador back. Like, the whole point of AEW is to be exact alternative of WWE. So
It's supposed to be diversity in wrestling, not diversity like people, but like diversity in styles of
yeah,
wrestling.
because you have the death match, you have people like Moxley, and then you have people, like a Phoenix, and then you got Will Ospreay and Kenny, and
I think that something like that could possibly work to where, like, hey, we'll help the ecosystem by making our developmental base here. Signing somebody and be like, hey, you're going to spend 3 years, 2 years in Japan training to be a wrestler. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think if I'm an indie wrestler who wants to get better, I want to go to where the best were at. We always hear a lot of the superstars get released and like, man, I've never been to Japan before. I would love to go to Japan.
yeah,
Daniel, when he got released, he wanted to go to Japan.
Dolph,
Cameron Grimes just said that, oh, I want to go to Japan. I've never been there before.
Ziggler,
Mercedes, first thing she did
yeah,
was go to Japan. Ziggler went to Japan.
yeah.
So I think it'd be smart to
Jericho,
like build your
yeah, no, yeah, I love,
Yeah,
and
like
like,
build your developmental base over
and
there.
then some people go to TNA like that, and that's why it's like in a perfect world, like even if we keep the beef on front, like I mean we can keep the beef public, like we can always like we can do the AEW and take shots and shit, but on the back end, like behind the scenes, I wish all these companies, yeah, they would be like a PC that train in a certain style. You could have a PC in Japan that focuses on the Joshi / hard Japan style. You could have some British shit, like, but at the end of the day, they all network and work together, and then whatever. Like in a perfect world, that
And
would happen.
we do see the behind the scenes where like these wrestlers all train with each other anyway, just not on a company level. Like
Right.
when people are injured, like, oh, they're wrestling against whoever. We see them train. They all live in Florida, or the good majority of live in Florida. Say these wrestling gyms are only built in certain areas. Like they should do it. I just want unity on a company front, and that's probably not going to happen. So if we got the PC in Orlando, Florida for the WWE talent, just build the AEW fucking pool over in fucking Japan, and y'all just fucking run shit like that. That way you can help Japan out. Because I do agree that everybody's taking the Japanese talent. Like we've seen that like Stardom's coming over here. AEW just not AEW, WWE just signed Julia. Like so, like they are getting pulled. They are getting poached out the talent pool.
Yeah. And we got Shinsuke and Asuka, which
Yeah,
you know,
Cheetah's fucking amazing. Like there's a lot of these talents coming over that's just getting plucked from like Japan. Um, anywho, Mina's fucking great wrestler. Loved her like style of wrestling. Mina ends up getting the win. Her and Mariah May come out. They celebrate afterwards. Apparently, they were tag teams over in Stardom, so they have a connection there.
yeah, the story hasn't been
And
flushed out super well, but there's been a lot of girl on girl kissing, which I'm not mad at that part.
they get attacked by Anna Jay after the match. Anna Jay just a little, kind of mad that she lost. Tony comes out to help Mariah. We then get Serena Deeb pop because she's going to be the next challenger to challenge Toni Storm. I love Serena Deeb, but I ain't seen Serena Deeb in a minute. I got to look at the match, the cage match, to see where the fuck or where she's been at her last match. But Serena Deeb was great.
Probably
I saw Serena Deeb
ROH
in
or some shit. I remember the last promo I saw. It was right before the last promo I saw her was. It was sometime in February because she called her because she called herself the final boss, and then like a week later, that's when The Rock started calling himself the final boss or some shit. So she had a.
That fucking sucked.
I mean, it's not an original term, like because there's Mako,
Right.
there's Mako Satomura, whatever her name is. She was the final boss, and then Joe had a shirt the other month that said "final boss" on it. It's it is what it is.
It's been around.
It's one of those things. Yeah.
Deeb comes out. She's going to be the next to challenge Toni Storm. So I think it's going to be Deeb and Storm at Double or Nothing, which is great. It's funny how like you said, the story complications or storyline implications with Toni is that it's not with her opponent. Right now it's with Mariah. And I think like that's what they're heading to. I think All In will be Mariah May versus Toni Storm. That's just the direction that they're going. That's the foreshadowing that I'm seeing, at least. We get a Willow promo. This is probably my favorite Willow promo. This is where like shit actually felt like solid for Willow. She talks about her beginnings where she was in the crowd in 2020 to getting signed in 2022. Like clockwork, we get a CEO interruption. Mercedes Moné claims that or just that she's not still in the moment. She's there to like just celebrate Willow. Willow feels that she's fucking up her moments, and that if she has something to say, to just get off her chest and say it. CEO claims that she'll be the new TBS champion at Double or Nothing. Asks if Willow was the one that attacked her backstage. They were like, "Nah, it's not us." Stokely says, "I don't want to be in women's business, but it's Julia Hart." Um, Willow then asks CEO if she feels like it's intentional that she injured her. Gets spun that Willow doesn't want the truth; she just wants to feel better, but feels better about herself. And this is what sets up probably like the best part of Willow's promo is that like, she had doubts when she beat her in Japan. The internet had doubts that she should even be that champion. So there's an asterisk to her New Japan title reign. But there is no asterisk towards the TBS championship run. And so at Double or Nothing, she wants her 100% because they said that she couldn't beat her at 100%. So now I'm ready for you. This leads me to believe that Mercedes won't get over on Willow at Double or Nothing. I think that
Statlander
I
turns
think we're
heel.
gonna find out that, or we find out who attacked her.
Statlander.
It's either Statlander or it's probably gonna be Statlander
I don't think it's
shows up
Willow.
that
She sounds too nice. She has the same
That's what I'm
problem
saying.
with Ivar and Ivy Niles.
She's just too much of a baby face. So like, it's probably going to be Statlander that end up attacking Mercedes because we saw that there was an arm grab from Statlander because Statlander wanted to smoke, and then Mercedes actually ends up hitting Willow instead of Stat.
I don't know if she wanted to smoke as much as she just was like trying to like, hey, stay or something, and then Sasha or Mercedes was like, nah, fuck that, and then she slapped Willow, and there's the whole thing. I do have a question though, real quick, because I don't remember if it was like during Dynasty or not. There was during an interview, Tony was asked about Mercedes' lack of like in ring stuff at the moment, and essentially he said, oh, "Fuck." He said she will be ready by Double or Nothing. Essentially the way he phrased it. It seemed like she came and she's not officially cleared to wrestle yet. It seems like
Probably
she's
that's
but
95% what
yeah,
probably happened.
and that's what's that's some of the that's what the internet is also kind of feeling, but also at the same time that first week it was either on Big Business or the week after, if I'm not mistaken, she did get physical because she like did her finisher on somebody.
She did.
I don't know. It's just weird. So my question was, do you think she's injured? And if she was like, should she even have shown up? Especially since all she's doing is like fucking promos and video packages.
I'm 50-50, and I'll explain why. I'm 50. Yes, she should have shown up because your next show in Boston probably wasn't going to be until like next year, and you wanted to pop her. You wanted to give her the pop. I'm also like no because at the same time, AEW would have been fine. You just popped fucking Okada like the week before, and then Ospreay the week before that. So they could have did without the Mercedes, and they wanted to elongate it. If Mercedes would have popped now and then she's ready to go for Double or Nothing, we'd have been cool. They'd be like, oh shit, okay, I'm ready to go. But at the same time, like they've been hinting at Mercedes since December of last year. Like it's at some point we got to stop talking about it and just fucking do it.
Right. Word. Yeah, that's why I feel like they should have just put the title on Willow a little sooner. So it would have made it would have made a little more sense if Willow already had a title, but I don't know. Like
I think maybe they were working on Mercedes' schedule. I think they're working on her timeline of like when she would be ready to go, rather than just working on their schedule of like when we need to get this belt off of.
Right, but Julia was also hurt, so it just makes Willow more. It gives Willow more time to be a credible champion.
Right,
because Willow,
That's true.
Willow was hurt in like February, if not a little bit before, and then Mercedes didn't debut again until like March 14th. So it's like,
right,
you could have just
we could have some filler.
Yeah,
in between.
like Willow could have knocked out like 3 different feuds during this to make her more credible, because obviously like, she's one of the better women there, like in the company. Like she's a really good worker. She's all like fans love her. I love her. Like like everyone loves her. She's awesome. So I know. It can't change the past, but I was just curious about that. Anyway,
we get a glimpse of the elite leaving Tony's office with the question looming of, is Jack reinstated? There's a casino gauntlet match, which I had no idea what the fuck this match was, but apparently the rules is that people keep coming out until one person gets pinned or wins by submission. This was for a shot at the AEW International Championship. Even without me knowing the rules, it was still a very entertaining match. We get, Jay White, Dante Martin, Kyle O'Reilly, Lance Archer, Commander, and Will Ospreay. Super dope DDT spot by Commander and Will Ospreay in this match. Kyle gets a moment with Ospreay, and I'm like, damn, I would love to see a Kyle and Will Ospreay match. Overall, Ospreay ends up winning this. He gets the championship spot against Roderick Strong at Double or Nothing, which I would assume would be a good match as well. I don't see him having like any doubts with this. I'm just curious about like who's going to win this match.
Yeah, this is why he shouldn't have been in it. This was stupid, and this is what I was talking about foreshadowing earlier. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but it's stupid.
Yeah, same thing. I was just saying like, who the hell is going to win this? I am interested in the storyline between Roderick and Ospreay. Like they're going to go back at each other. Roderick does work. You see Roderick every fucking week, or yeah, he is there all the fucking time. So yeah, we'll see how that works. We then.
Oh no, I have a question. No, because I'm sorry, we got to get into a tangent and make the episode a little longer. But I need your thoughts on this because it doesn't. To me, it does not make any. It doesn't. It goes back to back to what we were talking about earlier. Like it makes. It doesn't feel like It doesn't feel like Tony or whoever is making the AEW championship the main focus. Like when we had a conversation multiple episodes ago when I asked you like, what do you think the tier rankings is between these championships right now? And it seems like ever since that conversation, the tiers have switched, and it's
like
confusing to me.
Is like more important than the AEW.
Yeah, because I don't see Will Ospreay losing. Like, is this his first loss is good? Do you think his first loss is going to be against Roderick? And also, I don't think that. I mean, at least I wouldn't book it that way. But also, I wouldn't even had him in this fucking match to begin with, because again, like Ospreay's like the most popular character right now. They don't want Swerve to lose at All In. This is why I don't think Swerve is going to fight Ospreay at All In. I think it's going to end up being Cole Ospreay at All In. For what?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I haven't thought that far yet.
Yeah, that doesn't make
that. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. I really don't know.
Like again, it's like you have Mercedes and you like your most popular female right now, and you have Ospreay, your most popular male right now, fan favorites. They're going after mid-card titles. They're not going after the main titles, which, based on their popularity at the moment, it makes those titles feel more important, especially if you're not booking the other titles strongly.
But it also depends on how they want to do it, because there's a lot of creative control that the wrestlers have in AEW, to where I could see Mercedes wanting to go back and wrestle Willow for their storyline implications, because there is no story right now with her and Tony, although you could have created one. But she also wanted to help out the women's division. And right now, the TBS Championship was the only championship that really didn't have any prestige yet. It's like Tony's carrying the title right now.
Oh, hold on. It had prestige, and then Jade lost it. They gave it to Chris, which Chris is one of my favorite workers there, but she didn't have a good reign. And then the prestige died.
Even with that, though, it's like Jade was being separated from the group. We knew that.
Yes.
So Jade's reign was 15-0, which was fucking great and amazing, but she was just dominating everybody. We liked the reign because it was Jade. We didn't necessarily like the title. We just liked Jade. So the reign for Jade was great. After that, like you said, Statlander got it. But then, like you said, they didn't really push that. So now we're in a limbo phase with the TBS Championship. So the one that needs the most help to be elevated is the TBS title, the one that's on the network that your show's on. You've got to get that elevated. What makes that look good is Mercedes getting it. Although I don't want her to win it, it would make sense.
I'm fine with her elevating because the women don't have that many mid-card titles in this company. The men have 1 billion titles in this company.
Yeah, 1,000.
So it's again, if we talk about the rankings, because the first 2 years of this company, it was the AEW and then the TNT. Then they added a couple other titles. I'm not even going to ignore ROH right now. So then we got the Intercontinental, or not Intercontinental. We have the one that Roderick has, and
International,
and then we have the one
Continental.
And then we have the one that Okada has.
Yeah.
So now, based on, because Okada was another big ass signing. So at the moment, if we were to do another rankings, it seems like if I'm new to the show and I this was my first episode of this show, I'm putting IWGP at top for men, then the one that Roderick has, then Osprey, and then TNT. So is that like? I just want to know what the real rankings. I feel like there's no consistency with that,
There
which is
isn't,
where
because like the
it makes it
consistency is
confusing.
not on Dynamite between all three of the shows, which is like very confusing. Is that like while there won't be any mention or showing of like the AEW tag belts that just won, they'll talk about it on Collision or not? Yeah, on Collision. Like it's not necessarily the booking; it's like the approach or the way y'all talk about these titles. Like day one, like you said, should have been Swerve coming out. I'm the AEW champion. I'm head of the table. Boom, 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 boom. After that, you should have a promo with the Elite where they talk about they have all the fucking gold, because they do currently right now. Then we get the fucking Roderick Strong and shit like that. But at the same time, Osprey should not have won this Casino Battle Royal. But I don't know. Maybe Osprey will take his first loss early. I don't think so, but like I don't know what they got in store. Maybe it's a DQ finish.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know.
I know. I think it'd be. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe the angle is that fucking Wardlow will do his job and protect Roderick from losing against Osprey in some DQ fashion. That way, nobody takes the fucking loss.
Yeah, but I feel like you then just don't have Osprey. Like based on the rules of the match, Osprey didn't have to get pinned or submitted, and that loss wouldn't have hurt anything technically because there was technically 21 opponents that could have been in that match. There was only like 8 that showed up or whatever, but there was technically 21. And yeah, he didn't have to be pinned or submitted, so it's like he could have lost that match. He didn't have to. I feel like they put themselves in the corner. I let it play out, but I feel like they put themselves in the corner because to me it doesn't make any sense. But
they did. It's going to be very interesting how they move out of this. Like it's very weird, but we've seen AEW can operate in uncomfortable situations, especially when it comes to booking. Breeze through this real quick. We get a Jericho learning tree promo with Big Bill. Big Bill wants to end up joining Jericho as part of the learning tree.
Another stable, his 4th fucking stable, I think.
He is, and the thing is, he got music and new graphics for this, so he is actually the learning tree version of Jericho. I have thoughts about this character. I think this character is going to be somewhat of like the weird, like religious cult kind of like guy where he's smiling around. He wants to help everybody, but he's deep down is evil. And if that's the case, he's going with the idea of Jericho with Big Bill and probably 2 other people to kind of form this weird like Far Cry 5 like cult kind of like leader. I think you go down to ROH and pick up the Righteous, because they work with Lance Archer. I think that'd be a really good like stable that you can pull off into All In. We get a Don Callis promo where he's asking Will why he didn't use the Tiger Driver on Kyle. Kyle says he doesn't want to break anybody's neck. He says he won't do it after Daniel. Don Callis don't give a fuck. He wants you to break everybody's neck. He said Roger Strong got a broken neck, and if you need to break it again, so be it. We get a Mox versus Hobbs match. Solid match. I like this for Hobbs. It puts him in a very good light. Him and Mox are working really well together. Hobbs is sideways slamming Mox everywhere. He had a nice little T-bone suplex. Mox actually pulled off a very solid German on Hobbs, but Hobbs no-sold the shit out of it. Hobbs fakes a knee injury or sells a knee injury during the second half of the match, which leads into the paradigm shift DDT. The Mox then puts Will into the sleeper. As he said before, he's going to take the breath out of him.
According to sources, that wasn't a work. He might legitimately be injured.
Have an injury? Damn, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, hitting his knee on the turnbuckle or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but I don't know. We don't know yet. But according to sources, it probably is not a work. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully, you get better, Hobbs, because you are definitely a solid superstar.
Could just be a stickler or something.
We then get a very Jujutsu Kaisen version of Konosuke at the top of the ring, looking at Mox as like he's going to be the next challenger for the IWGP, which makes sense. I could see New Japan like, hey, like put them on, because they control who gets booked for the title, and control the booking of the title, who wins and who loses and shit like that, because it's their fucking belt. So if they want Konosuke versus Mox, I think that's a good fucking idea.
I don't think it's gonna win, but yeah, I mean, I like Konosuke, so I'm here for it. But I don't think it's gonna win.
Get a Shibata calling out Jericho for next week, so we get Shibata versus Jericho. As we get back in the ring, Shivani introduces Jack Perry. Perry says it's one of the best days of his life, but he actually has business to handle with Tony Khan. Tony then comes down. Jack says it's been a long, long road, and that 5 years in AEW has changed the world. There's been ups and downs, but he's only wanted what was best for AEW. Tony seems like this is welcoming. He sees this very heartfelt. He ends up giving Jack a handshake. Jack then puts on like the biggest smug smile towards the camera and gut checks Tony with the fucking mic. The Elite come out, ask him what the fuck is he doing. Like,
he hits Tony in the stomach, and Tony takes a back bump.
He does. That shit was funny. That shit was fucking
It's
hilarious.
funny, but it makes no fucking sense.
It's like, he shouldn't have been in the ring, but like, go ahead, Tony. Do what you got to do.
Also,
because
he literally vowed to never be an on-screen character. In the last 2 weeks, he was on screen. I'm fine with changing your mind. I'm pro change your mind. I'm pro human growth, which is why I say people just shouldn't say shit sometimes. Because, you know, he said, "Oh, I'll never be like WCW." He does a lot of shit like WCW. He said he'd never be an on-screen character. Now he's an on-screen character. And this motherfucker took a stomach shot and fell on his back. I don't understand it. It was funny, but I don't understand it. We can carry on.
I mean, we've seen bad sells. You know, Vince even sold a stunner fucking crazy. Although Vince was like 75 years old. Yeah, he shouldn't have been.
He never sold a stunner. I just rewatched the first stunner he took, and I'm like, this old pervert. Piece of shit.
Yeah, gut punches him. The Elite come out, seem to be mad at Jack for attacking Tony. They pull Tony up in the way that somebody would take an EVP trigger. The crowd thinks that he's going to take an EVP trigger.
And Okada's like, no.
Yeah. Okada gives a double thumbs up. We see Matt Jackson hit a Meltzer driver on Tony. Leaves in the ring. Refs comes out. They're pissed off at what the hell are you doing. Locker room spills out, but nobody takes a swing at the Elite for damaging their boss.
Took them a long ass time to come out too.
Yeah, man.
I will say though. Actually, I'll let you finish because I'll give credit where credit is due real quick.
Locker spills out. We get a shot of Shahid Khan even checking on his son.
Yes, dope shit. That is dope shit. The fact that
that's the show.
Is his name Shanique or is it Shad?
Shahid or is it Shad? It's Shaid. If it's pronounced Shad, it might be Shad. But I thought it was Shahid.
Okay. He comes out, which was cool, and he actually looked concerned. It looked like he just woke up from a nap, but he looked concerned too. Like he played, he plays, which is it's cool. It's like, you know, yeah, no, that was cool. I will give them props for having his dad come out. I will give props because it looked like obviously they really protected Tony during that Meltzer driver.
They did.
It looked safe. It looked safe as fuck, which is good because, you know, why would you really hurt this? I mean, honestly,
you don't want to hurt him.
A couple of days later, it sounds like he actually did get hurt based off his comments. But good shit. I will say my only other thing with this episode is what the fuck was going on with the audio. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, that was it. I was going to mention that. Somebody tail into my notes, okay. But yeah, the audio was out all like. This would have been a solid episode, but the audio was fucked up.
It was fucking trash. And it's like, you guys are at Daly's place. You're at your home. During the pandemic, you guys were there for like almost 2 years. Every single week. Why is your audio trash? Like, this is your home.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. But you are right. The audio was definitely fucked up this episode. This was a great episode. It was very story-driven. There's a lot of stories being told here. Callis with the Blackpool, or Callis family with the Blackpool Combat Club. Willow, the CEO, best friends are telling the story. The Tony Storm, Mariah May is telling the story. I got What the Fuck is a Learning Tree. Ospreay with Roderick. Like, there's a lot of feuds and potential lines that can be fed here. So we were definitely getting more story content in AEW. Shout out to them. They're listening. There goes your stories. Smackdown draft. We don't want to go too far over, but we will knock this out for you guys.
Let's do it. All right. Heyman announces at the very beginning of the show that Roman is going to withdraw eligibility from the draft because he deserves it.
That's the fun. What
he AJ
Boss man.
SmackDown is look. Rock created SmackDown. AJ was the house that SmackDown built, but Roman saved SmackDown during the pandemic. He deserves that. Yeah, and he's going to stay on the show. And also, I
Ain't
saw.
nobody wants to see the tribal chief on Raw.
Honestly, I
Dope.
thought Bloodline would go to Raw, but especially because of Netflix stuff. But we'll see. I mean, there can always be trades. Then we go to Jackie, who's at NXT, and she's sitting with all the NXT stars. They're all sitting in chairs, seeing if they're going to get drafted, giving that real sports vibe, similar to what happened during the NFL this week. Just a bunch of people sitting down
in the green room.
Yeah, and seeing if they're going to get drafted. The show starts with Cody and AJ doing a contract signing. AJ starts the convo, essentially talk about, man, we're two Georgia boys. We had to prove ourselves out of WWE. He didn't say during TNA, but he alludes to that he fought Dusty a couple times, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
He alludes to you're. I'm assuming the same man that taught you all the stuff that I know is the same man that taught me, which was your father.
Cody got to stop running into people who fought Dusty or had interaction with Dusty. Everybody's bringing up Dusty to Cody.
I mean, that's how influential he is.
It's true. I mean, that is true.
And he literally was part of TNA. He was part of WWE. He helped
NXT development.
He literally helped create NXT. He was also part of did I say WCW TNT? Yeah. Well, anyway, he was a part of everything.
He's everything.
And yeah, Cody's honest, and Cody doesn't even acknowledge the whole father shit, which I respect, because I saw a tweet and it was like, oh, this is what Cody said, but turns out Cody never said it. It was just a fucking fake tweet. But yeah, he essentially says, look, man, not what my father did tell me is it's not about winning the title, it's about keeping it. And this isn't a dream match for me. This is a must win, which I thought was a
bar.
Yeah, I thought it was a bar.
It's a bar. AJ had a bar in there too. He's like, the weight of this isn't just leather and gold, which is a bar. It's like, you got it now.
Yeah.
Let's run. Like, you got to show. The thing is, people are already starting to get semi-sour on Cody. It's like, Cody ain't did nothing yet. Relax, bro. Let's just watch.
Those are the fake. Those are the fake fans, because he hasn't
he hasn't done anything. There's nothing to be sour about. You have nothing to review this with.
WrestleMania was literally the season finale. That's why the last couple of weeks has been there's been stories building, but they're building shit. That's why you have the draft. Right. It's bullshit. I don't want to hear that shit. So yeah, pretty much that was the end of that. It looked like AJ might have almost attacked, but Cody was always his back was never turned. So when AJ turned, it looked like he was slightly surprised for a hot second, and then he leaves the ring. Cody leaves the ring, but that's when Triple H comes out. His life flashes between his eyes for a little bit. I don't know if he thought Triple H was cleared or something, but he looked a little confused. I don't know if he knew what was playing.
That's funny.
Yeah, Triple H comes out, and essentially he's like, man, since you're not leaving this show, I thought you and I could do the first round picks. You choose SmackDown, and you choose I choose Raw. And that's when we get our first round picks. And
now, my side note with this is that I wanted Ava to be a part of this. I wanted her to also draft people, because there could be some people who could use a creative revamp. What was the whole purpose of getting Ava in the Big Three conversation, where she's like, oh, I want to see who's going to come to NXT, because she did say this. Mm-hmm. Maybe it can happen on Raw, or maybe they do a special version of NXT. But I don't know. I thought NXT was going to be able to be in this as well.
I mean, they're in the draft, but it doesn't. Yeah, obviously, it doesn't seem like she's making any picks. She was in attendance during the NXT shots, she was sitting with them and stuff. But I smell what you're cooking. I do, actually. I smell that, and I agree with you. So first round picks. Let's get our other guest. Let's get Heroic Sharp in here. Hold on, let me get this. All right, you ready? Yo, you there? Skip. So, Lona, I got a question for you real quick. When you was a kid, did you always want to be a producer? And when did you start liking wrestling? But before you answer that, let me just say this real quick. So Raw's number 1 draft pick was Bianca Belair. That's right, the EST of WWE.
can't do this nigga, bro. I can't do this shit. This man is a fucking lunatic. Because this man got this Bubba Shrimp, oh my god, fucking accent on fucking Shannon Sharp, bro. That's fucking hilarious. Oh man, something's not right.
Now, come on now. I'm friends with these people now.
Oh, this is my friends. Oh fuck, that's funny. Fuck man, you're too much, bro. Bianca Belair was the first round pick to SmackDown. Yes, she was. The thing with this pick is that like she didn't go anywhere. Like we're like this is the draft. It's supposed to be switching shows, right? Like where's she going? But I get it. You want to lock in the superstar of your show. You want to make sure that she's part of the show. You don't want her to go nowhere. We want to lock her down. So yes, Bianca Belair is the first pick of SmackDown.
And according to my research, she's the third woman ever drafted in the first round. First pick.
She's definitely that. And she deserves it because she is the ESC. She is definitely a main attraction draw for sure. What we got for number 2?
Now, Lona J, this was good. This was a good pick now. Jey Uso.
I was waiting for the yeet in the accent. Like
yeet.
Oh, Jey Uso, also a very solid pick. Jey Uso clearly wasn't going nowhere from Raw. He was already on SmackDown. It doesn't make any sense for him to go back over there. So, yes, it makes sense for Jey to stay on Raw.
And of course, he has problems with his family now. We don't want to put him back with his family. Now, for the third pick, SmackDown, they choose Carmelo Hayes. He is him. It says he is him. Now, Skip, I'm sorry. Lona J, I was just on. Look, Club JJ, we sometimes we get a little mixed up here. All right, it's fine, but these are my friends. Now, how you feel about
Carmelo Hayes is solid. Carmelo Hayes is a great pick. He has definitely done a lot of work in NXT. I thought he was gonna get drafted or brought up last year, but no, I think this is the best time. I think him getting brought up during the Triple H era, excuse me, is probably the best time. He's him. He's gonna have some great matches. He's gonna be great in that mid card area. Yeah, he has. Spoiler alert: him and Cody got match of the week for me. Them boys is cooking, even with the weird like little shoulder spot that they had. But that was great.
Yeah, that was a botch. We can call it what it is. It was a botch.
But
they look good.
Carmelo Hayes, super future. I'm cool with that. Number 4.
Now, like my grandma said, you don't want to miss a frog when it's on the lily pad, you know? So, for the 4th pick, Raw chooses. He is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. They choose Seth freaking Rollins. Now, Skip, I'm sorry, Lona J, tell me how you feel about that one.
Oh, fuck this man up, bro. This man is so fucking stupid. Seth Rollins is a great pick. Once again, he stays on Raw. Not a lot of changes happening here. I didn't see Seth going anywhere because Seth, if he wants to, can bounce back and forth between shows. Honestly, there was no need for Seth to get drafted because he can bounce back and forth between shows. But yeah, I mean, solid pickup. No crazy changes in this first round from what I've seen, with the exception of Carmelo Hayes coming to SmackDown, which is just a solid pick. But other than that, that's what I got.
Yeah, that was the first round, but it was good. It was good hanging out with y'all. You can hit me up on Club JJ anytime you want. I'll be here with Lona J. Smith anytime he wants to be. But I'm gonna pass it back to Hero. Thank you, appreciate it, man. I love having guests on this fucking show. So after Carmelo Hayes came out, he challenges Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes accepts it. And, it was cool, which it sets up for the main event later, which was great. After that, we get LWO versus Legado. Back to more gang warfare. The story continues, but now we get a new thread to it.
Yep.
But before that, yeah, LWO. Oh, there was one. There was only one spot I wrote down, and it was this. Dragon Lee has a funny ass spot to where he runs the ropes, and I think it's Angel. It's either Angel or Humberto, but they stand on the ropes, and he like
Pulls the rope
he like
down,
falls
and that man
out.
flies out. Yeah,
That shit was
that was
fucking-
smart. That shit was
great.
solid. That shit was solid.
But yeah, so yeah, but LWO ends up winning. Which LWO in that match, it was Ray and Dragon Lee. But yeah, Legado comes out, or the rest of Legado comes out. Santos, Escobar, and Electra, and they say, "Look, we got the footage. We got that CCTV. Tony Khan hit us up. He hooked us up, and we could tell y'all it wasn't us. Like Shaggy said, it wasn't me. Was that Shaggy? Yeah, Shaggy.
Yeah.
It was revealed during this footage. It was Carlito who attacked Dragon Lee. We haven't got any excuse yet or reason why, but yeah.
It was fun that man saw the footage and shook. That man was like, "Oh, Shaggy, get the fuck out of here!" Like he typically people would turn around like, "Yo, Carlito, why?" He didn't even give a chance to ask why. He just hit a backstabber and broke through the arena.
And like as he's watching it, he hit himself with the Drewski. He's like, "Is that me?" Like it's like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, he saw himself in 4K, and he's like, "Is that really me?" Yeah, dude, that's you in 4K.
It was me.
That's CCTV.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and he's like scribbling. He throws a fucking Dragon Lee into Ray, and then runs out the through the stands.
So we finally get it. We get the turn that we've been waiting for. We've been talking about for about fucking 8 episodes now.
Yeah,
Carlito turned on Dragon Lee
because Ray.
We don't have a reason why he didn't automatically side with Legado either. He just
Well, it's because Ray's a terrible person.
This man's funny. He stay consistent. You have said this.
Well, I mean, Ray's a terrible father, and he's a terrible human being. And I'm sure Carlito's going to be like, you brought another dude again. And he takes my spot. It's similar to say.
Yeah, honestly, I was supposed to be the one.
And I
wasn't on me.
If we go all the way back, the reason why Santos was really fucking with Ray because it's like you brought Carlito in, you didn't communicate with the gang, and nothing like that. And maybe Carlito was just like, yeah, this nigga is weird. He do operate weird. Look, man, if your own son don't like you because you're a terrible human being, you don't know how to buy the proper car. I mean, the man threw his own wife under the bus the other day, which is wild because during his Hall of Fame speech, he said that she was his like MVP. But you gonna throw your wife under the bus for why Dom is not fucking with you? No one fucks with you, Ray.
That sounded so rap beef like. That was crazy. That's gonna be a crazy like interlude to somebody's album.
Eddie Guerrero turned on you. Batista turned on you. Santos turned on you. Dominic turned on you. Carlito turned. Nobody fucks with you, Ray. Why, Ray? Look in the mirror, my nigga.
He asked some smart questions.
Take off that mask and look in the mirror, my nigga. Why people keep turning on you? What you doing wrong? I don't like to play the victim blame game. That's not cool. We don't blame the victims here on Monday Night Wave. But something is wrong with Ray. I just listed like 6 people that turned. Something is wrong. You doing something wrong, my guy. Figure it out.
Not wrong.
And that's why this is brought to you by BetterHelp because we want you to figure out yourself as
not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. We ain't got. We're not giving nobody no free ad.
no free ads.
Hey, you want the ad? Hey, hit the email mondaynightwave@gmail.com. Hit that.
Please hit that.
We will talk,
and I will name drop you guys anytime. So yeah, after that, Heyman talk. So Solo arrives. He arrives.
Oh no, not shit. We get the Braun Breaker Cedric match.
Yep.
Which it's quick match.
Quick ass match.
Nigga had no entrance. You already know what time it is. His straps were already down. He came out, did a quick little dive off the rope, speared 1, 2, 3.
Damn, the straps was already down. One, that's a wild thing to say, and 2, I didn't even notice that. I gotta rewatch that. The straps was already down.
Yeah, straps were already down. He was ready to go.
Oh yeah, that nigga was.
This was second to Kofi and Brock. It was done. You knew exactly what the fuck was going on here. Which is fine. It wasn't fine. I hate it because it was Cedric, and Cedric's my dog. I love Cedric Alexander. But like, we got to get him out of these fucking squash matches. Yeah, go ahead. And now you got drafted. It's time to get some wrestling in.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted him and Braun to stay together because I feel like it would be easier to get his character over. But spoiler alert, he goes to a yeah. Anyway, yeah. So okay, so after that, we get a backstage segment. Heyman is just sitting there. He's waiting. A car arrives. It's Solo and Tama. And then he's just sitting there for a second. And he's like, "Oh shit, my bad." And he opens doors for Solo, and he apologizes multiple times. He's like, "Usually I open the door for the Trouble Chief. I'll open the door for you. My bad. I apologize. Apologize." And then Solo asks, "Why haven't we been drafted yet? Or have we been drafted yet?" And Heyman essentially was like, "No." And the reason why we probably fell so far down already is because
you added new members to the group.
Yeah, you added a new member, and well, yeah, Roman withdrew himself. And then since you added a new member, if someone was to draft us, they don't know who they're really getting or whatever.
I don't know who the potential is.
And
that's a setup.
Yeah. And I saw a tweet, I don't know who it was, but they were like, Solo talks. You ever watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
You know, remember Malcolm's black friend who's
the wheelchair?
Yeah. He's like, someone,
out of breath all the
someone
time?
said Solo talks to him. It's not out of breath, but the way he paces himself, he's like
who has been drafted yet?
He's like, no one.
The bloodline is coming.
Yeah, it's like, why are you talking like that? And he's wearing black gloves now, which is interesting. He's got the OJ gloves on. No RIP.
Has the bloodline been drafted yet? Nah, we ain't, man.
All right.
Speak up.
Repeat yourself one more time. It's like, bro, like talking slowly doesn't make you more evil.
Solo, we're getting food. Let's go to Waffle House. It's like, nigga, like, all right.
I want a glass of water. So during that, like, yeah, Heyman's trying to explain himself. Then Tama comes out, and then Heyman's like, "Please, God, don't hurt me, guys. Look, I'm trying to." And
I'm just a messenger. And
in the background, you see Kevin Owens slowly running towards them. Which there's a beam in my head. I can't figure out what it is. It's from a TV show, but I will figure it out, and we'll post it on the chat. But yeah, and so Heyman backs up. KO takes out Solo for a hot second, and he's just brawling with Tama, which cuts to a commercial break.
I don't know if the second round was before that or after that, but I got the second round written here. Did we go past that?
Oh, shit, we did. Because, okay, shit, we did. Yeah, okay.
No, sorry. Quick recap.
Real quick. Yeah, Aldis talks to Tiffany. She said she wants a title shot. Aldis is like, you can get a title shot. You have a number one contenders match. If you beat Naomi, she goes. If you beat Naomi, you go. If she beats you, she goes. And she's like, whose stupid idea is that? Then Bayley's like, ding dong, it's mine. Because, if Naomi wins, she can get the title match that you fucking interrupted like an asshole. Or if you win, I can show you why you don't interrupt the role model, which was hard. Then she leaves, and then we get the second round picks.
Second round, quick recap. Randy stays on SmackDown. Braun ends up on Raw. Nia comes to SmackDown, which is kind of cool because now we know where Nia is going to be at. Because last week or the week before, I was like, where the fuck is Nia? Nia needs to be in something. Yeah. So Nia comes to SmackDown.
And she was in the Battle Royal. And fun fact, this is her first time being on SmackDown. Ever.
Really?
Yeah, first time. She's always been a Raw star.
And then Raw drafts Liv Morgan, solidifying Liv Morgan staying on Raw.
Then we get the Heyman stuff. A wild KO appears, attacks. Then we go to a commercial break. After the commercial break, we have Kayla Braxton. She brings out the first draft pick, which is Bianca. Bianca announces that her and Jake. She says that she hopes Jade gets drafted to SmackDown also, but regardless, her and Jade Cargill are facing the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash for the tag team titles.
Tag team title, you're cooked. Yep. It's a wrap.
Then the Kabuki Warriors come out.
Good run.
Yeah, Kabuki's Warriors come out. Everyone's on the ramp, essentially. They're face-to-face. Then Cargill comes out. She has her bob back. So then, there's a face-to-face 2v2. And during that, the brawl between Kevin and Tama continues and, fights through them. It goes all the way to the ring.
Yeah.
Solo comes out. So then we get the 2v1. The numbers game starts to happen. It gets the better of KO. And then after that, or during that, we hear, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. Randy Orton comes out.
Yeah, Randy comes out. Randy saves KO from getting jumped. They then do like there's a promo afterwards where like there's the RKO show or Randy KO show next week
Yeah.
on SmackDown.
RKO KO. RKO.
RKO KO.
Well,
Yeah,
that
too
part's a
many K's in
little
it.
later in the night because they all this announces a
Oh yeah,
match
you're
before.
right.
But now, okay, so
Uh,
after that, that's when we get round 3. And let me get back on the line. Let's get back Venti since he didn't really do that much. You can start. Venti can do the Raw picks.
yeah, third round was presented by the Dudleys. The first pick for SmackDown was L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's right. Venti, big money roll. Venti money roll, man. Money so big you call it Venti. Yeah. All these bumper clock posse boy talking, man. I'm back here and I'm doing the Raw picks with my man Lona. And for the second pick of Raw, they chose Ricochet. That's right, they chose the light skinned man, Flippy man. Flip man. Big flips, man. Big flips.
uh, for the third pick, SmackDown selects the new version of the Bloodline. So Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga gets voted or gets drafted to SmackDown.
MFT, man. Bless you. And then for the fourth pick of Raw in the third round, man, Raw chooses Sheamus. Banger after banger, burger after burger. Whatever you say, man, you put some respect on the redhead's name, man. You know what I'm saying? Big things, yeah. But, my boy, man, Venti money. Money so tall, I can stand on it, yo.
He missed his opportunity. It should have been beef patty after patty after patty.
Oh, we don't make fun of the Jamaican patty here, man. We don't do the jerk here unless it's the chicken, yeah, you know?
Good God. We then
Burner
get
boy.
Tiffany Stratton. We get Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. The match wasn't like too complicated, very straightforward match. We do get a dope fucking split takedown from Naomi.
Bro, that
was
fucking
tight.
springboard, or it was like a crossbody split leg. The shit was fire.
That shit was hard. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot be mad at that.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot in here. Nia then comes out of the crowd, attacks Bayley outside,
Yeah.
bashing the fuck out of Bayley. Naomi's trying to do the match, but as she's doing the match, she's watching Bayley get fucking destroyed. Comes out to go and help. And the thing is, when you see your boy getting smacked up, hey, you're probably gonna end up just like him. She gets smacked up, tossed into the goddamn turnbuckle. Stratton, the only smart one here, is like, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of this because this don't look like my kind of business.
Yeah.
Both of them get rolled up into the ring. Stratton performs the prettiest moonsault, and that's how we end that match. The only thing I hated about this match was like, can we stop with the goddamn DQs? It's driving me fucking insane. But there's a purpose for it.
Yeah,
there's a reason.
Yeah, there was a purpose for this.
There was a reason. Because it came later at the show where they're like, oh, we're doing a triple threat.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a triple threat, I would have been pissed off. But the fact that there is a triple threat now, we're good.
Yeah, and Tiffany looked good in both of them. Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row she moonsaulted both of them. And again, like it's called the prettiest moonsault for a reason. That shit looks, the way that she looked, like it almost looks photoshopped or like edited the way she does her moonsaults. It looks so fluid. That is not an easy thing to do. And the way that she does it looks so fucking smooth. Like
we should rank moonsaults. We should rank the moonsaults in W because there've been a couple solid ones.
Yeah, I mean hers is gonna be the top for me. Her EO, Charlotte's is okay.
Charlotte does do a pretty solid moonsault.
Yeah, but I mean I feel like she misses more than she hits, and then Leah's is just Leah's is kamikaze. I don't feel like she don't give a fuck about nobody. But we can rake moonsaults. Yeah, so after that we get the Street Profits have a backstage with BFAB. They talking, they talking their talk. And Angelo Dawkins, who's a Bengals fan, and they're in Cincinnati tonight. He has like a Bengals thing going on. A-Town Down interrupts, and Grayson Waller was like, the Bengals don't know anything about championships or some shit. Some good, cheap heel shit, but it was really good the way he delivered it. Then Bobby Lashley comes out of nowhere, and it's almost like an Uncle Phil to fucking Jazz, to where the way he throws them out. He's like, get the fuck out of here. It's just like, get the fuck out of here. He like grabs him by the fucking back of the neck. Good shit. Then we get another random backstage moment with the Final Testament attacking NCR, New Catch Republic. It was really quick, but Karrion Kross was like, the violence won't stop until we get what we want. Which, I guess that's...
What do you want?
Yeah, what do you guys want? We don't know.
What do you want?
I don't even know who you guys are, really. Again, why is these Aryan niggas... They're not Aryan. Iranian niggas wearing this goddamn vest? You got this old man with pliers saying, sacrifice! You got a 4-year-old man in a leather coat with pliers yelling at another dude saying sacrifice. What the fuck is going on here? I need to know what's going on. But they want something, and maybe they'll get it. But until then, the violence won't stop. Whatever the fuck that means.
From there,
we get round 4.
Yeah, we do round 4.
And it'll just be me. Linty left.
I'm gonna fuck this man up. All his guests left. People, they out.
I mean, I can bring them back. I mean, it's just
no. To keep them where they at.
Okay. I mean, they'll come back. DT couldn't show up. I mean, Loner A. I don't know where he would. I mean, we have plenty of guests. We're building a fan base.
We do.
We're building a fan base.
We are. Shout out to them for coming on the show. We respect them. 4th round, AJ Styles to SmackDown. Once again, there's not a lot of changes.
No, there's not a lot of changes tonight.
He's in a fucking feud with Cody. I didn't expect him to leave anytime soon, so shout out to AJ.
Yeah. For the second pick with Raw, they choose all of Alpha Academy. Which was cool.
3, once again, no changes. We're still here. Hopefully, Raw is better because there wasn't really any surprises or something that I was like, oh, damn, I'm interested in. Yeah. Besides, the NXT guys.
I think there was literally... someone did... I mean, it's not hard to do, but I think there was literally 5 different legit changes. Nia Jax, never been on SmackDown. Andrade's on SmackDown.
Andrade was the 3rd pick, by the way, people. Yeah. He's on SmackDown.
And then number 4 for this round was Kiana James in NXT call-up. And
I'm unfamiliar with Kiana James. I've never seen her stuff. I watched a little bit early of NXT last year. I thought I saw her, but I didn't know she was ready to be called up.
She's cool, and surprise! After she got her call up, they did a small video package, which was very short and sweet. So if you don't know who she is, you saw a little video package to understand who she is. So she just didn't show up out of nowhere.
The businesswoman.
She had a businesswoman gimmick to assistant or some shit. But it was cool. After that, Nick Aldis announces the 2 new matches, which we already alluded to. We get a triple threat with the women, Naomi, Tiffy Time, Bailey, and then he also announced RKOKO versus the Bloodline, which, if there's any perfect time for Fatu to debut, this might be the perfect time, or we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But, I mean, maybe Jimmy comes back. We'll see. But, I don't know. Yeah, I have a feeling that match is not going to end with a winner, but who knows? But it's cool.
I mean, Tammy, in typical Bloodline fashion, do they ever really end with wins?
Yeah, no, not really. And also, it's cool. Tama has literally been here for 3 weeks, and he's on his first PLE.
Yeah, undeniable talent. He's already polished. You don't really need to have him go through the ringer when he's been in New Japan, just solid. He's like with AJ. Like they just threw AJ into the Rumble because he's that fucking good.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, even Shinsuke and Asuka did like a couple months in NXT, and that didn't like
but
hurt
we've
them.
talked about like the transition between like the non-English speaking, like finding
Right.
your home and just getting
Yeah, we did talk.
reacclimated
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
we're now set up with the main event: Carmelo Hayes, Cody Rhodes. I think this was a big moment for Carmelo to debut against the W champion. This was really fucking solid. I don't think I've ever seen a black superstar debut against the WWE champion. Like he's in rarefied air.
Yeah,
Like that's
it's cool because his debut in NXT was against Adam Cole, who I think was the champion at the time. If not, he was still like up there. And yeah, so then he kind of does that. He kind of repeats that, which is awesome. And then also, it kind of gives. I haven't seen anyone say this, so this is a whole fresh opinion. But it kind of gives like it gives John Cena vibes when he debuted against fucking Kurt Angle. To me, like it news.
come in talking shit. I
Yeah,
want to hit
I
the
mean,
top
yeah,
dog.
he didn't hit him with the "this is ruthless aggression," but like early in their show, he came up and he's like, it's funny you say if you
I
aim
can
for
see
the
that.
king, you don't miss. Well, guess what? My catchphrase is
I'm
I'm
aiming for the
him
king.
and I don't miss. So like, let's do something. And Cody Rhodes accepted it. So to me, it's not a one for one. It's not I wouldn't say that they're
Nah, but
copy
it's
story, but
very similar.
yeah, I feel like it's similar. And I
Very
haven't
similar.
seen any page podcast or no one talk about that. So that is a fresh Monday night take, and I think it's similar, and I think it was cool in that aspect at least.
He's solid, and the thing is, like sooner than later, you got to strap a belt on him because he's good. Like I don't know, and I know I say that about everybody, but like the people I say it about, I genuinely believe that they're about to supersede like the talent that they're at. Like at some point, it's like he's going to reach a plateau where he's already great on the mic, his in ring ability is great, like he's an undeniable like TV attraction. Him and Trick. When Trick gets up, it's a fucking rap. And I got a whole second like side story about Trick. Like Trick's about to run the CW era. Like it's about to be Trick Williams CW. Like he's gonna fuck that shit up. So like, yeah, like these black talent, bro, they coming out and they hitting, bro. Like they are hitting.
Yeah, they're hitting. I think I'm a Carmelo fan. I think obviously he still has some stuff to work on, but this was a great showing. He's already had a couple other showings on SmackDown. They clearly fuck with him, otherwise he would not be getting these opportunities and these chances to showcase himself.
I could see Logan Paul versus Carmelo.
Yeah, I can see that too. If I had to, like. I feel like they're playing. It's cool because I feel like they're playing long game because Braun was drafted to Raw and he's on SmackDown, so I feel like they're trying to keep them away, similar to how they're keeping Rhea and Bianca away. But
Yeah.
if I had to say like who's more ready for a single title run, I would put it on Braun first.
Really?
I would give Braun a singles run before I'd give Carmelo. I think Carmelo still has some as far as his moveset. Like I don't really like his finisher that much personally. I feel like there's some like everyone can like there's still opportunity to learn. Everyone's still learning, no matter where you're at in the ring. I just feel like there's some still stuff like there's some stuff you can still work on. I think he should be like in a if SmackDown's a 2 hour show and it's going to be on USA, so it's like again like you can only put the talent there they only have so much time, especially depending on who's on the show. Like hypothetically, let's say Roman comes back, that's a guaranteed 40 minutes where someone's not going to get time, which is one of the problems that Cameron Grimes ran into. Besides that, Vince was still like having a power struggle. So honestly, I don't see Carmelo getting a title run anytime soon. I think it would benefit him to be paired with somebody so that he makes sure he gets camera time. Well, I think he's going to get camera time regardless because he has an aura. Like he has star appeal all over him, so he's going to get camera time regardless. But I mean, personally, I would put him like in a tag or something, just for a little while, then have him break out of that, like add him to the Pride or some shit like that, or I don't
The
know.
thing with Braun that I would say about Braun is that he's already knows how to get over just with his character. I think Mel is a better talker than Braun. I think when it comes to like mic work, character work, I would go with Carmelo. But Braun is like people are the theme song is hidden. the spear is hidden. Like he's already like TV showcasing what he's able to do, to where it kind of alludes to what you were saying about maybe like Melo's moveset isn't like the best yet.
I think,
But I think Melo,
yeah,
Melo's solid.
I think on the mic, Carmelo's character comes off better. But
That's what I
far
mean.
as being convincing, I think Braun on the mic is more convincing as far as what he's trying to
Okay.
portray. If that makes more sense, like he just comes
yeah.
off more convincing, and it's not saying that Melo comes off scripted or fake or anything. It's just.
Do you think he's ready? Would you have kept him down another year?
Oh
Or do you think,
no,
like, you would have?
I think he's ready for the main roster, 100%. And I think tonight proved, like, regardless of that one botch, that match proved it. And he already had a match against Grayson in theory, like that. He is ready. I just don't know, especially since you're on SmackDown, and that again, it's a 2-hour show. I would keep him. I would put him in a tag so that we don't have a repeat of.
Put him with Bobby.
Yeah. Again, I would put him with the Bride or some shit, just so that we don't have a repeat, or bring MVP back. Put him with Omos or some shit. I don't know.
I think you treat him like Rock was in Nation. If you could put Melo with Bobby, and then put him next to Profits and BFAB, not because you want to put all the black people together. I know what y'all thinking. Shut the fuck up. No. But just put the young person next to the legends who are like gonna give him the game. Mm-hmm. And then he turns on the Pride and like, I'm better than the Pride because I'm him, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that would be kind of tight to see.
To me, that makes the most sense. And like, and even in the 2K game last year's 2K, so 23, there was a slight storyline where he was part of Hurt Business, sort of. And you know, that's a video game, whatever. But it made sense, like the way that it was written, it made sense.
Give him a vet.
Again, it's a 2-hour show. He's only going to get so much screen time. The best way to do it, honestly, put him part of the Pride, or just put him in a tag with somebody. Like, hypothetically, if they would have fucking kept Cameron, they could have put him in a fucking group with him and Cameron. Like, Cameron has a fucking, like, his song was a rap song. I don't know, whatever, man. I just don't want them to. They're gonna give Carmelo. They're not gonna fumble it because it's Carmelo.
I don't want them to ricochet him. I say that with the most respect because Ricochet came out at NXT. He was hot. That dude was the best fucking talent I've ever fucking seen. The clip of him flipping outside of the ring, like from NXT, was like that. Okay.
I mean, he's a 3-time champion, and now 4 because apparently he wins the Speed champion. I mean,
the Speed title, but like Ricochet, I don't know. I feel like he won those titles, but it was just like placeholder. It didn't feel like they gave Ricochet a true like fucking run. And I guess you don't really need a true fucking run if you're getting it 4 times or whatever. But like, I don't know.
Everyone deserves a good reign.
I feel like.
But also, those were also Vince eras too. You gotta.
It's true, but you also got to do what you have to do with your opportunity when you get it.
Right.
You know, and that's the fucked up part, is that you're trying to make the best out of something. You know.
Yeah.
I just don't want that to happen to Melo, because Melo is fucking talented. We see that it can kill, you know, like creatively any kind of fucking talent.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think he is good enough on the mic with plus his aura to where, like, you know, he's not. I don't think he's going to be overlooked. It's just, you know, being on a 2-hour show and seeing how much camera time you're going to get, which is why I feel like you should, go the Rock route, put him with the Nation, like have him do a couple of single matches and then put him on the Nation or something, and then we'll take it from there, you know, and then he'll break out, or maybe, you split up the Street Profits. Bianca's on SmackDown, have Montez go to SmackDown, then send the Pride to Raw. Oh no, because Carmelo's on SmackDown. No, that doesn't work. I don't know. I feel like man, I don't want the Pride to stay on SmackDown either. But Montez is going to be on SmackDown because Bianca's on SmackDown. But Bobby got to go. This is hard. This is hard.
But Bobby has to go came from the soul. That was deep down. He has to go.
Him and B-Fab can split up or something. I don't know.
No, I like B-Fab.
No,
B-Fab is great.
Yeah. Have her be the manager for Bobby, because he doesn't have the charisma. We already know that. But Street Profits, he's holding the Street Profits back.
We've talked about it. Profits definitely need to get into the spotlight. I think they will be Waller and them's first opponents. We'll get into that when
they're going to lose.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's right. They are. Yeah, because they did win.
Mm-hmm. That's the show.
Overall, that's the show. Great match between him and Cody, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. We're gonna get the rest of the draft on Raw next week. So hopefully things will pan out a little bit more. Hopefully there's a little bit more shakeups. If there isn't too many shakeups, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck was the point of the draft? But
Oh, speaking of that, real quick, because there's always some picks that don't happen on
the extra,
TV. So Cedric and Ashanti Adonis, they're on SmackDown. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they're on Raw. That's really good. They need more camera time. The OC with Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Michin, they're on SmackDown. Baron Corbin, he is back on SmackDown. And that's it for now.
That's crazy because the OC about to cross paths with either AJ or Tama.
Yeah.
You gonna get Bloodline versus the OC?
I mean,
there's no story there, but like
I feel like if they were going to do that, they should have did that already. Like we could have got AJ and Roman, and AJ and Roman have their matches.
Oh, we did get AJ Roman.
We didn't get AJ and Roman.
Never?
Not never, but since the Tribal Chief, no. Last time AJ and Roman fought was when AJ was a heel and he was on Raw. That's why I was excited when AJ went back to SmackDown because it's like, oh, we're gonna get AJ and Roman, but they didn't fight, and now AJ's heel, and it's like, yeah, dude, their last match was probably in like 2019.
There's no way.
No, dude, facts, bro.
Oh
no. Besides the Fatal 4-Way. Besides that Fatal 4-Way with Randy Orton and LA Knight. Roman and AJ have not had a single 1v1 since like 2019.
That is wild. You are right. Because Rumble, they had the Fatal 4-Way, AJ Styles, Knight, Randy, Roman Reigns, and then 2019 was the last time they touched. Pause.
Yeah, and at that time, that's when AJ was heel and Roman was face, and they had like 3 back-to-back ass fucking bangers. That's when I was like, that was around the time where I was like, yeah, I don't know what the internet's talking about. Roman's fucking good. Like, this thing is killing.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, that was the show, folks. We will be back next week with more wrestling talk. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Chat with us. Like I said, hit us on the socials and whatnot.
Monday Night Wave, Heroic Rager on X/Twitter. The Heroic Rager on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Get them all out there. They'll be tagged in the description as well. So if I don't like listening, they'll be in the description too. We will catch you guys in the next one. It has been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.